Is it Discord?
Correct.
That is kind of strange.
He's older than my father.
Oof.
And I don't recognize this phone number.
We're setting up a device. You shouldn't have to set it up at all. What are you talking about? You fool. You foolish fool. Okay, so what up? Welcome. I haven't streamed in a little bit, and Plague and I were wanting to do some reaction stuff, so that is what we're doing right now.
Why can't I hear you?
Because I muted you so that you couldn't hear me do intro stuff.
Oh. Trying to find my,
So...
Alright, I bugged the position down.
Mute yourself. That was loud.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up Firefox and put it over there. I'm gonna pull up Rocket League. You send me videos that we react to.
Okay, I have to send the videos?
Well, I mean,
Why
just
can't you
find.
just look
I mean,
them
just
up?
find them and I'll look them up.
Okay. Well, first go to Brett's and find that one that we were talking about.
Hold up.
He also has a Twitter?
Who? Oh, your uncle?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, more and more people have, you know, modern stuffs. He's integrating. Wait, is it this one? It's this one that I wanted to do. Damn it. Abba helps Destiny with his insane catfish situation. That's just stupid. Okay, where's Brett's dumb channel? JK Brett. Beth. My biology is not.
Welcome back to the comments section.
Ah, you're so loud. Being a gym bro is a green flag. Is that the one that you wanted to watch?
Yes. Well, that's the one that you had mentioned.
It's 17 minutes. Okay. Just tell me when you're at 1, but it's gonna be a little aggravating because we
I
have
thought that it would play
ads.
through with yours.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah. Would you rather me do that?
Mhm.
Okay. You can just react to her mouth, her voice. I don't remember which one it is. Fuck. I think it's that one. Can you still hear me?
I was considering, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's an echo.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Is the echo affecting your stream? If not, then I don't care.
I don't think so. I can't hear
Okay,
an
if it's
echo.
not. Okay, if it's not, then I don't care. It's like only
check-
whenever I go to certain pitches.
I can check voice meter. I don't see anything echoing. It is very likely you are the only one that's going to hear it because it's repeating back all audio that, like, it's repeating back all audio from that portion
Totally
of the,
fine.
I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. Whatever. Here's Brett Cooper. Hold on, I've got to check something. Okay, she is there. Cool.
Makes you want to go back to the gym, Sheller.
Bruh, I'm there.
You are?
No.
Oh.
I can't
I didn't run
adjust
this morning. I
the
did run all this
speed.
weekend, though. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll go to the
Alright.
gym tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you're not, you're a liberal beta cuck. My favorite part about this is that this is such a self.
Okay,
I
wait,
hope
what?
that this episode makes you want to go back to the gym, Sheller.
Bruh, I'm there.
You are?
No.
Oh. I didn't run this morning. I did run all this weekend, though. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll go to the gym tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you're not, you're a liberal beta cuck. My favorite part about this is that this is such a self-own. Wow, only the fit people, the attractive, healthy people go to the gym. They're the far-right neo-Nazis. And it's like, okay, so by default, you're saying that you're all, like, weak, skinny cucks? Yeah, you are. You never leave your house. Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. We're talking about MSNBC today. I don't think I've talked about legacy media in a while because they kind of bore me. And I look at their articles and it just makes me angry and upset. And I find most of my content on social media rather than on sites like this. But I was scrolling on Twitter like I usually do. And I saw an article that looked very, very familiar because last year, MSNBC published an absurd article. They got ratioed so hard, nothing happened with it. But then they decided to try it yet again and publish the exact same article with basically the exact same graphics and caption. And once again, it went terribly. So today we are talking about that. But before we get into that, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section or off the clock episode. I just have to say thank you all for sticking with me last week. We had some heavier and creepier and weirder subjects at the end of last week. These subjects today are at least a little funnier and a little lighter. It's a palate cleanser before we get into the week because I already have some stuff planned that is not as pleasant. So prepare yourself for that. But thank you all for being here. Our subs have been off the charts recently. The views have been crazy. So thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch the show and hang out with us. Alrighty, now getting back into this. On a random day in February, MSNBC decided to try their luck once again to test the waters on Twitter, and they posted this. They said
God,
the
she is
far
so
right's
loud.
obsession with fitness is going digital. Opinion:
Yeah,
what the
she
far
is.
right is really into home fitness. Here we freaking go.
I don't understand how that's exclusively a right or left thing. How has that become political? How? That doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Like, hold on. I have to, like, you know what, fuck it. Haha, fuck you guys.
Oh,
Okay,
ladies and
go.
gentlemen, once again, like I said, this is the exact same article. When you click into it, you can see it is from March of 2022. They changed nothing. They were like, the culture's changed. Let's try this again. No, it has not. People still think you're moronic. The full headline reads, pandemic fitness trends have gone extreme. Literally. White supremacists' latest scheme to valorize violence and hypermasculinity has gone digital.
Uh-oh, Spadoodios.
Somebody commented and said, bold of you to call leftists fat and weak. Now, we're about to get into the article, but the best part of this entire thing is that this is literally a self-own. You are so angry at people on the right allegedly being more fit and being more into fitness, so you're acknowledging that you are weak beta cucks, that you do not leave your house, that you are still so scared of COVID and the things in the world that you do not go outside and see sunlight and
Jesus,
touch grass
Brett.
and maybe lift some heavy things. Well, you know what? They're kind of okay with that. They're probably okay with not going to the gym. It's fine. Somebody else commented and said, so I should be going to the gym to meet new friends. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, for all of you people who ask how you can meet like-minded friends, apparently it's at the gym because it's a bunch of far-right, alt-right people.
Guess they've earned each other's respect. The muscles did the talking for them.
Anyway, let's get into this. Let's read some
It
of
was
it.
the
It's
Full
just
Metal
wild. So right off the bat,
Alchemist
they
dudes.
say earlier this month, researchers reported that a network of online fascist fitness group chats on the encrypted platform Telegram are recruiting and radicalizing young men with neo-Nazi and white supremacist extremist ideologies. Initially lured with health tips and strategies for
What?
positive physical changes, new recruits are later invited to closed group chats where far-right content is shared. Oh my god. So people join group chats and then find friends and like-minded people, and then they go and they talk in other group chats. Oh my god. This is insane. I'm immediately thinking of Ian Smith. You guys remember him from New Jersey? He was the gym owner that kept his gym open all throughout COVID, and he's kind of become this like beacon of masculinity for a lot of young men and for women too. I mean, he's incredibly empowering. He takes no shit. He's awesome. I immediately thought of him because he has a big Instagram page now, and I'm sure that they looked at him and were like, you far-right, insane person trying to radicalize young men with fitness in your gym. Yeah, and that's a good thing. Anyway, the article goes on. It says, physical fitness has always been central to the right. In Mein Kampf, Hitler fixated on boxing and jiu-jitsu, believing that they could help him create an army of millions whose aggressive spirit and impeccably trained bodies, combined with a fanatical love of the fatherland, would do more for the German nation than any mediocre tactical weapons training.
That escalated quickly.
Why are we
That
not
did-
talking
yeah,
about
wow.
Hitler? You
That
jumped from,
escalated
oh my God,
super
people are in group
quickly.
chats to talking about Mein Kampf? You are so deranged. You are grasping at straws trying to make a ridiculous point because you hate the other political side. Grow up. Are you
And
kidding me?
to,
In more
like,
modern times,
rationalize to
far-right groups have
yourself
launched
why you're
mixed
so
martial arts and
unhealthy.
boxing gyms in Ukraine, Canada, and France, among other places, and focused on training far-right nationalists in violent hand-to-hand combat and street fighting techniques. The U.S. is comparatively far behind, which will only become more and more problematic, especially since the phenomenon is growing in the country, building on the established fight club culture of MMA far-right extremists. This is so
Pause it real
idiotic.
quick,
The
I need to grab
intersection
something
of
from the
extremism
room.
and fitness leans into a shared obsession with the male body,
Yes,
training
one second.
masculinity, testosterone,
Okay.
strength, and competition. That shared obsession is literally just being
Okay. Ha! Saved it. Fuck yeah. Can you get me that cart that's back there on my side of the bed? Hey. Fuck.
Almost yanked it out the wall because I plugged in lucky. I realized last second.
Hooray.
I'm the
Okay. Ah, fuck. Fuck. Yeah, I kind of thought that was gonna happen. Shit. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Aw. Save her.
I'm gonna gather my paints real quick so then I can start on my Pokemon cards while we stream.
Okay. Ah,
Is that
nice
okay?
shot. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
Yay.
that's okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm just picking up around me a little bit.
Okay.
It's been a mess.
A mess. A gigantic mess. Gigantic
gigantic.
mess.
Just a bit. Just a
Fuck. I hit the wrong angle.
You hit the wrong angle?
I hit the wrong angle.
Oh. That makes more sense.
Bonk. Ah. No.
Okay.
Ah.
Trash.
Trash. No. I'm an idiot. Thank you, dude. Thank you, my dude. Thank you, bro. Broski with the save. Haha. Ah. Thanks, Napoleon. Ah. Poops. Why didn't they flip? Why didn't they flip it? I flipped to the wrong spot. Do you want me to play the video? Is that what you're waiting on me? I don't like. Bowen's out. Ooh. Oh shit. Nice shot. No problem.
On.
Yeah.
He hates you.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. I guess she's waiting on me. Or I'm waiting on her. Am I waiting on you? What am I waiting on? Ha! I made a shot at her. At a goal. Hey. Hey, bro. Hey, brother. Lindsay. Oh. Damn it.
Okay.
Fucking
I'm all
asswipe.
set.
Fuck you, there's 4 seconds left. We're not fucking conceding. Wait, it's called forfeiting. What the fuck is this? Playing the video.
A man. Have you ever been into a locker room? There is nothing wrong with that. That is how they are biologically designed. And you're saying that that is some right-wing phenomena that we are
Wait, what?
instigating by getting men to go to the gym and get fit? You've got to be kidding me. Physical fitness training, especially in combat sports, appeals to the far right for many reasons. Fighters are
That's
trained
so
to
fucking
be physical
stupid.
training, to be warriors and to embrace messaging around solidarity, heroism, and brotherhood. Why is that wrong? It is laughable. Brotherhood is apparently now a far right thing, heroism. So you want everybody to be alone, sad, lazy little boys hiding in their parents' basements, cannot lift a damn thing. That is apparently what you want men to be. How have you now decided that brotherhood and heroism is inherently alt-right and bad? The mental gymnastics these people have to go through. I talk about this all the time. It's insane. It's honestly impressive because I don't know how they come up with this stuff. They pull it out of their ass in a very weird way. Anyway, going on, it's championed as a tool to help fight the coming race war. What? No, it's not. In the street battles that will precede it. Literally, no. Who is saying that? If anybody is thinking about fighting on the street, it's probably to defend a woman that they're walking with. To be totally honest, recruits are encouraged to link individual moral virtues such as willpower, decisiveness, and courage. Again, is that so bad? Brotherhood, solidarity, heroism, courage, and decisiveness and willpower are apparently all terrible. If you are a man that has those qualities, you are on the alt-right and you are dangerous. I'm done. This is just absurd. Now they go into like talking about neo-Nazi bloggers, talking about fat people, and they get into fat phobia. It's so stupid. And then at the end, they warn parents about protecting their kids from alt-right fitness groomers. Like, that's not the kind of grooming I think parents need to be worried about right now. Like, on the other side of the aisle, if you are worried about people finding out that you are radicalizing radicalizing young men at the gym, you need ExpressVPN to protect you. Because what if I told you that there was somebody out there who kept a log of every single thing that you did at the gym? Every person you texted about your workout. Like, we can all agree that would be like freaking creepy. But what if I told you that that is exactly what happens every single time you go online? Internet providers like AT&T or Verizon are allowed to store logs of every website you have ever visited. And then they stitch together detailed profiles which include your browsing history, online searches, and location data.
God damn it. I didn't even realize she was doing a fucking plug.
ExpressVPN reroutes your internet connection to
That's
their secure
why I
servers so
went,
your internet provider cannot see or log what you do online.
I was
Right?
laughing
ExpressVPN
at
does not only
that I
protect
own
me,
gold.
but it is
Like I
because
entered
now
a casual
with
match and
technology,
own
we can
gold
turn
immediately.
ExpressVPN on any of your devices on the top of the screen. It is so easy. So stop letting people keep logs of what you do online or at the gym and visit expressvpn.com/Cooper. That is expressvpn.com/Cooper and you will get 3 extra months free. Again, expressvpn.com/Cooper. And hopefully then we can continue radicalizing young men without the libs freaking out. Also, of course, the
Without the
writing
libs
professor at
freaking
university.
out.
Her name is Cynthia. Cynthia, you... I have thoughts about you. You are a moron, and your writing sounds like satire. You should try comedy. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's like, what grounds are you even standing on? Throughout all of history, men have learned how to fight. Men have been taught to be fit. It is only in like the last 20 to 30 years that men have been emasculated and told that they are better off if they are tiny and weak and subservient to dominant women or a authoritarian government. This is not alt-right extremism.
damn it.
And then her talking about
Hit
how
the angle
MMA
wrong.
causes like an increase in testosterone and masculinity. Like, hell yeah, it does. And men need that. All exercise does this to men, unless your man is like exclusively doing like Pilates or a bar class, but still, at least he is exercising. It is good for you. It is good for men. Somebody commented and said, I'm not far right and I exercise. I don't see the correlation here. And somebody replied and said, looking and feeling good is the first sign. Next thing you know, you'll be expecting people to be accountable for their own life actions and consequences. I hope you can make the right changes before that happens. Somebody else said, I love that this article is almost a year old now, but you still trot it out periodically on Twitter to get ratioed yet again. Somebody replied and said, next up, eating pizza is fascistic. I'm sure that already exists because I already say that a lot of different food is racist. Even though MSNBC has posted this article many times now, they are not the first to have this conversation. The far-right exercising nonsense has been circulating around the internet for years now. Back in 2017, a university in London did a whole study about this that caused a stir, and they determined that young men who go to the gym are more likely to be right-wing.
That's fucking
Oh my god,
stupid.
oh no.
Yes,
Because
it
about
is.
it
It's
at the time and said men who
ridiculous.
visit the gym are often less likely to believe in socioeconomic equality, finds research. The longer a man spent in the gym, the less they believe in the redistribution of the wealth according to the findings. So ladies, if you're worried that your man might be too liberal, if you are worried that your sons might be too liberal, get them into the gym. They will be fixed real quick. My favorite headline about this was from Vice. Gym bros are more
The
likely to
gym
be
bib.
right-wing assholes. Science confirms. No time to worry about socioeconomic inequality when you've got to finish your reps, bruh. I mean, very true. They care more about themselves and their own health than they do about your stupid socialist BS. Like, that's not a lie. This is from The Independent. They were describing the study. They said, the researchers assessed 171 men between the ages of 18 and 40, collecting information on their height, weight, waist size, muscle circumference, hand grip, arm, and chest strength. And they also surveyed the men on how often they go to the gym, their wealth, and whether they support the redistribution of wealth, and whether they believe some
Apparently,
social
if you
groups
go to
should
the
be
gym, it
dominant
means
over
you're a
others.
far
The study found a
right-winged
significant
man.
correlation between those men who were heavier and stronger and the belief that some social groups should dominate others.
He
These men
laughed.
were also less likely to support the redistribution of the wealth, a typically left-wing principle.
That is
There
so
you have it.
fucking
Science says
stupid.
If you go to the
Like,
gym,
understand?
you're based. That's all. Just saying. Vice's commentary about this whole thing was too good not to share. The Independent just wasn't spicy enough for me, but then I read Vice's article, I was literally laughing out loud. Price's findings? The rich muscle dudes are the worst. Under those rock-hard abs lie the rock-hard souls of men who don't believe in spreading their riches around. It's basically your tolerance to the idea that wealth shouldn't be redistributed, Dr. Price explains. Some people thought it was horrible, some people thought it was fine. Fascinatingly, the longer men spent in the gym, the more likely they were to have less egalitarian socioeconomic beliefs. But is the gym turning men into entitled, unempathetic jerks? Or are they in the gym because they were
Based
born
on
that
what?
way?
Yeah.
It's a real chicken, breast, and egg white chocolate to be sure. Quote, what you get is a positive feedback loop, Dr. Price argues. The standard conventionalism is that people are adapting their morality to their physical nature. What comes first is that you're big and strong and you find yourself in this big muscular body and other people are intimidated by you and you have a status and tend to win. So I like inequality because inequality suits me. Or maybe it's just that you get really strong, you realize you don't have to rely on anybody else and you can protect people and you start to embody some true masculinity. Maybe that's that. Sadly, Price doesn't want us to hate on self-involved assholes reading a copy of The Fountainhead in between reps. Quote, I'm just trying to illuminate the sources of people's moral views, he says, to help them be more reflective about it.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
This is the textbook definition of grasping at straws. I also just love that they included The Fountainhead there. Young men, if you have not read The Fountainhead, do yourself a favor and read it. It's by Ayn Rand. It's incredible. Read it in between reps. Do everything that Vice hates about you. You will feel so good about yourself. It's a fantastic book. More right-wing men work out because they care about their health. They don't trust the government. They don't want to rely on anybody else to take care of them. They know that traditional women want strong men, so they become strong men. It's also just as simple as that. They also know that their testosterone is bolstered when they work out because that's biology, and testosterone is essential for masculinity. It really is not that big of a deal. It's not insane. This is like common sense and logic. But we're not done because I have not shown you TikToks today. And obviously I have to show you TikToks.
Oh,
Now,
darn.
mainstream media has
Oh,
been
of course
reporting
she's
on
gotta
this
show
for
us
years.
TikToks.
But have you forgotten about the people on social media who tell you you're fatphobic for working out? I haven't.
Are you going to the gym so you can get a flat stomach? Or are you going to the gym so you can build a stable core and have better posture? Are you motivated to go to the gym so that you can lose weight? Or are you focused on increasing muscle and bone density to look super delicious? Or is it because you know strong glutes help protect your knees and your back? Wanting to work out does not make anyone fat phobic, but the motivations why you might go to the gym do.
So are you going to be like the gym thought police and walk around and interview people on why they're working out so you can tell them whether they're fatphobic or not? We understand that there are benefits to exercise. We all know that. It's science. We feel good after we work out. But most people go to the gym because they do want to look a certain way. That's not bad. I'm not done yet. Again, we have another one. This one's a little angrier.
There's 3 kind of big buckets of reasons why someone might engage in intentional weight loss. First is desirability, second, health, third, stigma. But at the end of the day, all of those are rooted in fat phobia in different ways. We currently live in a society that uplifts thinness, able-bodiedness, whiteness, cisness, and heterosexuality.
Have you literally looked at any advertisement in the last 2 years? It's not just thin people anymore. You're winning. You're taking over. You can calm down with the victimization now, lady. man, lady.
And so if you are wanting to lose weight in order to become
Wow.
more desirable, you are upholding a fatphobic beauty standard, as well as, white supremacy knowledge as.
Oh, good.
So next is health. What we know is that weight is not a good indicator of someone's health, and also your health is not an indicator of your worth.
It is an indicator of how healthy you are. You can choose whether to act on that or not, but it is. Just saying.
You can have health and body related goals for yourself that are not about fat phobia and not about weight loss. Third bucket reason is that you might be facing extreme fat phobia and anti-fat bias in your own life, and you have personally mentally hit a wall where you can't deal with it anymore, and so you decide to intentionally lose weight. But it's really important that if you still go through with intentional weight loss, that you don't sacrifice fat liberation politics, because otherwise
Fat liberation politics. Oh my god.
Fat liberation politics.
Fat
Is that what's
liberation
fueling these stupid
politics.
articles?
That
This is
sounds like a
exhausting. People are
comedy
making
rap
things up right
group.
and left. This is my favorite compilation.
Does sound
I
like
thought
a
I'd show you one more
comedy
thing
rap
because
group.
Those are just two examples, but I like this edit because I think it really shows how I feel at the end of the day about this.
Oof.
Work out because you want your body to look a certain
Oof.
way. You don't care about
God.
you are fatphobic.
I hate to tell you this, but actively not wanting to be fat is indeed fatphobic.
Push-ups.
Can you grab me? I don't
What?
care about that flannel.
Like, I hope men.
I don't
watch
have a
this video
smock
and
right
are
now, so I
empowered,
asked
are
Jacob if he
inspired,
could
and
grab
hopefully
me
see
my
how
flannel because
ridiculous
I don't
those
want to get my
angry
Hello
women are.
Kitty
I mean, I think they do
shirt
because this
dirty
has
because it's
637,000
a
places on
sponsor
the
that's
news. It
no
has,
longer
but
going on
obviously
anymore.
Probably reached the right people.
It took almost 19 years, but my mom
The point
finally made
is,
me care about my
It is
clothes.
easier to control and indoctrinate people who are unhealthy, whether that is, emotionally, mentally, or physically, whether they are fat or they are the size and have the
I
stamina
don't
of a
really
twig.
care
You know
about the
what connects all
oversized
of that?
flannel for my
Working
dad.
out.
It's nice,
Physical
but I don't
exercise,
care about it
moving your
much.
body, leaving your room. No wonder they hate it so much. And like
Oh,
on a
that
less
works.
grandiose scale, you working out and being strong and being happy makes the unhealthy, sad, lazy people feel worse about themselves, which is why they turn themselves into victims and shame you for making them feel bad.
Hold on
Because
just
this
a
entire
second. I'm gonna go
culture
change
is
in the
incredibly
bathroom, okay?
self-absorbed and rooted in a
Okay.
desire for attention, which they get by making themselves into victims.
Jacob
They don't
offered
deal with
me
the
a
fact
throwaway
that they
shirt.
can't get control of their weight, that they can't get the motivation to get up and go to the gym, meal prep, or do whatever they want. So instead, they villainize you. I don't know why this is one of the hills they have decided to die on. This fat phobia, body positivity, people who work out are the worst. But here we are. Go hit the gym. Do not let people think that you are a lazy socialist cuck. That's the message. Okay, that was fun.
Wow.
Those people are crazy. If you want to see more videos like that, make
I
sure you
cannot
subscribe to
believe
the channel
that,
and like that video. And if
she
you want
said
even more
that.
content, you can follow me on Instagram at I'm Brett Cooper.
My whole thing is being joyful.
So we created a little world to share that.
I'm Happy Kelly, and I do my best to live every day filled with joy. There's more to your story. Start telling it with Adobe Premiere Pro.
What?
I have to keep safe.
Oh, okay.
And you think you've been a catfish the whole time?
That's
I would not pull a stunt like this to ruin what I do have, so, like...
Okay. What is happening?
R is a
No, shut up! You're following... No,
No,
that's
I'm
deepfake.
serious, I'm
No,
serious.
stop. Mother...
That ad
Everything is
looks like a
deepfake.
What?
What is this argument I'm hearing?
I don't know. I didn't want to listen to it. What else? What else we got? What else we got? That was kind of bland. There wasn't a lot there. I mean, it was funny,
Hold on.
but
I mean,
that's just a ridiculous thought that wanting to be in shape means that you are
You're
fat phobic
fatphobic.
or that you are against an egalitarian, that you're alt-right. That's fucking
I
stupid.
think that there's a healthy fat weight and then there's an unhealthy fat weight. I don't think that all plus size people are like awful and should lose weight. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. All of them. They all gotta lose it. Every pound.
I just mean like the people on my 600-pound life are people that you shouldn't strive to be.
Yeah, that it is ridiculous.
I just think there are extremes that I feel like people are trying to get others to accept. Just should not be accepted
Yeah.
when it comes to that. Also, we can use our roommate Jacob as an example of someone who is losing weight because they want to lose weight, not because they're fat phobic.
Yeah. True. I'm looking on what's on trending right now. Super Mario Bros. Plumbing commercial. Wow. From Illumination. Bradley Cooper and his mom attempt a T-Mobile commercial.
Videos, here it is. There is a
Oh, Vati made a video. We need to talk about Michaela.
What?
It's like Vati made a video. We need to talk about Michaela. It's like 50 minutes long. It's almost an hour. The Flash official trailer with fucking Ezra Miller. Oh my god.
There's I don't know, what kind of like topic are you looking for right now?
I don't know.
I'm looking at
Moist
Pearl right now.
Moist has a video that's on trending. Was the Super Bowl rigged? This is the greatest bad sports call of all time. Sure, whatever. Go ahead and keep looking for stuff, but that's the most interesting thing I've heard.
The video this late into the evening, but right now I'm like a movie theater toilet. I am fuming. I am absolutely steaming because of how the Super Bowl just ended. I watch every Super Bowl, and in this one I didn't really have a horse in the race. I'm neither a Chiefs nor Eagles fan. I just wanted to be entertained, and for the majority of the game I was thoroughly entertained. It was just a great game. Both teams putting on an incredible performance, going wacko mode, Insano style, tying it 35-35, and just like the first Spider-Man movie when he fought Bonesaw, when Bonesaw was ready, we had 3 minutes of playtime, and it was coming down.
How fucking dare you? How dare you compare anything football to comics and Spider-Man? How dare you?
Down to the wire, an absolute ass greaser. The Chiefs were driving down the field. They make it to the red zone. It's getting a little dicey for the Eagles. Fans spilling their beer all over themselves in anticipation and fear, but the Eagles are putting up an incredible defensive stand. And then in the most crucial moment of the entire game, with less than 2 minutes remaining in this tie game, a penalty was called for holding against the Eagles, which lost them the game. One single bad call decided the outcome of the Super Bowl at the very end, which is what has led the majority of people to
that
watch
sounds
this
kind
game
of familiar.
Call rigged, say the
Yes,
refs are
it
all turned
does.
off, and say that it's all just part of the script. Because right now there's a tinfoil nipple clamp conspiracy theory that floats around that a lot of people genuinely believe that sports are rigged. Or rather scripted. I actually do agree that there is rigging to a certain level with the refs. I do think there is real corruption there. But let me just opine on the scripting thing real quick. I think that's a load of dirty barnacles. I think that is just a fat load of fish paste. I don't think sports are scripted at all. That's kind of an unhinged belief. But I do think the refs are corrupt.
What? What? As much money as they rake in? As fanatic as like engaged as people get, you really don't think that somebody would try to like what?
Rig. Yeah.
What? I saw a comment on somebody reminded me that there was like a wasn't there like a mysterious power outage that happened at the Super Bowl a few years ago?
That sounds familiar.
Like there have continuously been shady things happening in like big sports events. I just don't that's not unhinged to be like, yeah, the popular sports are probably rigged for like public entertainment.
Yeah, I don't think that that's wild to say that big sports are rigged.
I don't either. I think that's ridiculous to say that that's unhinged.
Not just football, it's basketball as well.
Agreed.
This entire year has really shown me since I got back into watching sports live. I have seen so many awful officiating moments that I can find no other explanation besides just malicious corruption. And this is the most blatant example. The holding call, I can't show you any clips because obviously it's the fucking Super Bowl. If I even showed you a still image of it, I'm sure Roger Goodell of the NFL would come to my house personally and fucking slap me around and then hit me over the head with a fucking sledgehammer. So I can't show you anything, but if you watch the Super Bowl, you immediately know the call. The call was on the Eagles for holding. The receiver was going out, and the Eagles defender lightly touched him, like on the hip. It was a light touch and like a slight jersey tug that could have even been like accidental. It was so gentle. Like the way he treated the receiver is the way a mother would treat a newborn baby. It was so light and caring. There was no holding at all on the play. And Patrick Mahomes threw up a stinky meatball of a pass that was just uncatchable regardless for the receiver that it was intended for, but they still threw the flag and called holding on the Eagles, which gave the Chiefs a first down, and also just gave them plenty of time to run out the clock, kick a field goal, win the game. It was decided by that call. It was the most crucial moment of the game, and the call instantly ended it pretty much on the spot. And under no circumstances is that acceptable. Regardless of what team you were rooting for, I'm sure all of us can recognize that this is a complete wet fart of an ending to an otherwise amazing game. We just got the bad ending to this one, unfortunately. The biggest sporting event that America has to offer is decided by the refs instead of the players. That's pathetic. That's awful. In a situation like this, I think they should go to the replays and be 100% sure that there is truly a penalty worthy of being called in a situation like this. It's a terrible look for the sport, and it's embarrassing overall. They should have 100% held the refs to a higher standard here. Oh, we're under 2 minutes to play, and this call is going to decide the outcome of the game. Everyone knew it. The second that call was made, even the commentators were like, oh, I don't agree with that one. Eek, that's a bit spicy. That's a no good. We don't like that. The commentators were outspoken about how bad the call was. In a situation where it is that crucial, they need to go back to the drawing board, check everything, and 100% be sure that this is a call that needs to be made. Because in this situation, it wasn't. It's a bad call. It's just straight up a
That's really dumb. That's a really dumb take. Like
Which part?
I would have to actually see the clip that he's talking about, and if we can't show it on stream, I'm not even gonna waste time looking it up right now. We can just look it up later because we didn't watch the Super Bowl because who the fuck cares about the Super Bowl in this day and age? Like, there's so many more interesting things going on. Who cares about grown men getting paid millions of dollars to play a sport that we all played when we were kids? Who cares? That doesn't affect my life at all. The only thing that was ever interesting about the Super Bowl, like from the time that I was a child to now, is the commercials, and even those have gone downhill. Didn't even hear anybody talking about the commercials last night. The only thing that I have heard about the Super Bowl is now this, and then jokes about Rihanna being on like a Smash Bros stage.
Yeah.
Like that is the only thing that I have heard. Like the Grammys. And like so many other things that were culturally relevant, the Super Bowl just isn't anymore. So, but also like this really just because like I played lots of sports, I've listened to lots of angry fans. It sounds like just a dude that's just mad at the refs for making a call he didn't agree with. Well, guess what, buddy? You're not a fucking ref. So like if I hear some refs talking about this or some like other officials, like I'll look at the clip, but like I think he's getting hyper emotional over nothing. I think this is a dumb thing for him to make content on, but it gave us something to react to. So cool.
Shitty call. Even if you're the biggest Chiefs fan in the world, you got your Chiefs butt plug dialed all the way up to maximum turbo.
Do you only have adjectives or metaphors or soliloquies or similes that have to do with farts, butts, and so, like words like soggy? Like I want to give him a thesaurus and like
settings. It's vibrating in your
like this is also like he actually has I think it was a New York bestseller. I don't have anything. He is an established author from what I remember. So I am just poking fun.
You're super excited they won. In the back of your mind, you know that it's a pretty upsetting ending. I'm sure you would have preferred if they'd actually beat them on their own merit instead of having the refs help. Because no matter how you spin it, that call decided that game at the very end. The Chiefs could have still 100% won that, but now it's always going to be left up to speculation on, well, would the Eagles have made a game-winning drive? Would the Eagles have stopped them on that red zone drive? Like,
that's who I'm painting.
Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I got hit with an ad. Boo. What are you painting?
Yes.
I don't know. What are you painting?
That's who I'm painting. I told you I was gonna do my Pokemon cards. So guys.
I don't know. Cubone.
Torpedo.
I don't know. Wait, Sharpedo?
There's so many question marks now that the win can't feel as good as it would have if the refs didn't make that call. It's a lose-lose for everybody except the refs that may have been paid off. Like, I'm actually starting to believe that they are influenced in some way financially in order to make these awful calls. We just saw it recently in the NBA with the infamous no call against the Lakers. I'm not even gonna bother going down that road right now. I already fucking ranted about that on stream for quite some time, and I'm not even a goddamn Lakers fan either. I just hate how awful calls decide the outcome of the biggest games. I just think that's horrible. Like, it's just bad. And what's even worse is there's really no incentive to be good at your job as a referee. Like, if you do well,
but the
cool.
other
If you do poorly, there's no repercussions.
Yeah.
Like, some of the worst refs of all time are still currently refs, like at the biggest, highest stage. I don't understand why they have so much leniency in situations like this, and so much power, too. This is a call that should have been thoroughly looked under with a microscope 1,000 times. Bring in a third-party investigation unit for this call tonight. Like, have them double-check. Bring out a fucking forensics team. I don't care. It's the biggest call of that game, in the most crucial moment of the entire game. Really do your due diligence to ensure that call is legitimate and necessary. Because you do not want a game to wrap up the way this one did. It causes nothing but turmoil, and it ruins the entire thing. The Super Bowl was amazing, all the way up until it wasn't. At the very last 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. It's craziness. Can't believe I'm actually making a sports ranting video, but my family and I were having so much fun watching the Super Bowl.
I can't either.
And when that call was made, collectively, all of us let out an audible groan in frustration, and it took the wind out of all of our sails. None of us are Chiefs fans or Eagles fans. We didn't give a fuck who won. It was just such an amazing game, and to have it in this way is deflating. I can only imagine Philadelphia Eagles fans right now. But anyway, I just wanted to vent about all this. Also, I'll tackle one more thing that I've already seen pop up a lot, where it's like, no, it's technically a holding no matter what. I mean, I just disagree. Like, even with the way the rule's written and the way that it's typically enforced, it still doesn't seem like a hold. His movement really wasn't impeded at all, and the ball was still pretty uncatchable anyway, so it's not like it would have had a huge impact on the outcome of that play in particular. So even if you want to argue that technically it's a hold, it's still a call that doesn't need to be made, especially given the magnitude of the game, because that call ends the game on the spot when you make it. This was the most important moment of the game. This was pivotal, and that call being made instantly decides the outcome of the entire game. Their fate was sealed the second they threw that penalty. So I don't think that it needed to be made, nor should it have been, because I don't think any games should be decided by a penalty like that. It's fucking pathetic. It's laughable, really. And that's why a lot of people are screaming rigged, because it did decide the winner of this match. No matter how you argue it, they won immediately off of that call. So it's just a real shame. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about all of that. That's about it. So yep.
Okay. Weird, unexpected Penguins 0 sports take. Says the guy with literally 0 people in his chat right now.
Don't be sad.
Oh, it's okay. Lazy
your
TikTok.
Discord chat.
What?
I'm in your Discord chat.
Yay!
I'm in your walls.
Oh no. Not the walls. I'm looking for more videos. This is sad. Disney hides from Indiana Jones backlash. Nah.
If you look at Pearl's recent uploads, some of those looked interesting, but I didn't want to go through and name them all, so I was just recommending that you look at her channel.
Crazy things is Pearl saying.
Oh, look.
What is her channel name? Just Pearly Things?
Yes, correct.
Damn, she's already at 1.2 million, 1.22.
Wow. Not know that, but good
What,
for her.
her most recent? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I just mean like go through them if there's any that are interesting. There were some that I thought had interesting titles.
Most women date toxic men. The fear of modern women. Men are biologically different. Modern women don't want to hear the
All of them
truth.
sounded interesting to me.
Huh?
It's up to you. All of them sounded somewhat interesting to me.
Oh, okay.
All of like her uploads from the past 2 days did.
Yeah. How about this one? The Matrix to plan to destroy. Okay, whoa, hold on. Yeah, she's got 1.22 million. That's impressive. But the video we're about to click on's got 6.4K.
Ooh.
That's bad. Most of her videos are in that range, but every now and then she'll spike up above. Like my experience fighting 2 crazy ladies is at 60K.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but then it's okay. Which one did I say? The Matrix one?
Yes.
I scrolled past it. I don't know where it is now. I'm lost.
I believe in you.
There it is. It was just the help YouTube by answering one question. Skip ad.
Okay.
No thanks.
No thanks. I don't want to answer any questions.
Do you
Bye.
think there's any credibility to Andrew Tate's theory that the elites of the world want to take him down for promoting that men better themselves?
Do you mean for this case or generally?
What do you mean?
Do you mean that they want to take him down for this case or in a general?
Yeah, like before that he was saying like they're going to put him in jail. Like the elites in the world are going to put him in jail.
I think Andrew Tate got put in jail because he did things that were morally
which is always the issue, right? Like, I might come out and I might say, well, listen, they're going to come after me, guys. That's just the Matrix chasing me. And I might
laughed
say that
about it
because I'm
on
just, trying to get views or
podcasts
whatever.
over
Maybe I
and
actually
over
did a
and
crime.
over
I'd probably say
again.
that too. Like, guys, they're going to make some crazy stuff up about me. Be ready, okay? And then, wow, I get arrested because they found out I murdered some guy. I'm like, see, that's the Matrix. Well, maybe you actually did do that. So,
do you think they would want to take him down though?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people want to take a lot of people down, including Andrew Tate. But the question is, do we see evidence of like a concentrated effort to actually go after him in a manner that's unfair? I feel like if we did, I feel like when he got arrested 10 months ago, they would have found a bullshit reason to throw him in jail or whatever and just kept him there forever. But they didn't seem to do that. So
I'll try and answer that question. So I think it's too late. So in terms of whether the elites want to take him down, I believe is not linked to this case. So basically, in terms of elites want to take him down, we've seen that he's been banned from many medias. There's a concerted effort to basically silence him. In the UK, he's not allowed to be talked about in schools. It goes to safeguarding, it goes to prevent. So yeah, there is a significant fear about this man by the impact. And so when you say Matrix, what you basically mean is either the deep state or the liberal leftist media ideology who doesn't want to give this guy a platform to give men hope, to give men rights in a society where male suicide is 80% of suicide, adolescent male suicide is 80% of suicide, where male suffering is huge in the society. So in that aspect, yes. But in terms of this case, I don't think so. I believe this case is basically.
I mean,
Romania
but
on its own. This is
like,
my
hold
opinion.
on.
I believe it's Romania on its own. And
But
the reason I
isn't
think
like I definitely like empathize with a lot of people / men who are going through that, like the wanting to like kill yourself and end it thing. But like, isn't a lot of that brought on by yourself, like your own mental state? Like that is.
Yeah, and it's kind of your job to get help. It is.
Yeah.
It is always your job to get help.
Yeah, it is not society's goal or job or objective to to actively keep every member as happy as they possibly can. It is up to every member of society to find their own happiness and figure out how to moderate. You know, and not meaning they have to do it on their own, but it is like up to them to be willing to accept help and they scored. In the areas that's just ridiculous. I don't like the everybody always being like, well, men have it so hard. Well, men have it so hard. And it's like, yeah, I understand they have it hard on some things, but I also think that a lot of people just don't give a shit. A lot of people just don't try, and they don't give a shit about improving themselves or improving their lives. So they just kind of let life take them for a ride, and then they're like, okay, well, I want to check out. This isn't. I'm fun. I'm not in any control. Oh fuck. They scored again. Oops, it's hard.
That is, when you look at the way the United States and United Kingdom do things, other than the Patriot Act and the Terrorism Act, generally speaking, what they do is they build the entire case, they make sure the case is strong enough, and then they go after the big guys. In this scenario, just looking at what's happening, they're doing a very shoddy job. And so when they're doing such a shoddy job, when the evidence is so weak, when it looks like in a normal system this wouldn't have gone forward, in the United Kingdom this would have been dropped. In the United States this would have been dropped. Based on that and the terrible job they've done, I do think it's Romania on its own.
Can Andrew Tate receive a fair trial in Romania?
No. I don't think their laws are set up for that. Didn't they like already increase his time or some shit? Like he can't. No. I think he would have a better chance here. Like getting a fair trial.
Huh? I think he did some shady. And I don't care.
I mean, yeah, I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying.
No,
that,
I know
like,
you're not. I'm saying just like my opinion on it is like
that it doesn't matter if some shady shit happens to him because of what he did to like, a couple dozen women or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, like,
it's just the way that he describes women just makes it's off-putting to me.
Ah, fuck. These guys are good. These guys are good at hoops. They're good. Skip that. They're good. All right. Play.
So again, this is just opinionated. So I believe based on what we've seen up to now, I don't think so. Because I believe that the actions that have been taken have been very extreme in all regards. And so if this continues and he's kept for the full 180 days, which I believe is probably going to happen, and then he's taken to trial, and then based on that, I do think, he will not receive a trial and be convicted. But based on the evidence, I don't think he should be convicted of what we have right now.
What is your ultimate prediction for the outcome of the case?
I think he'll be charged and convicted at the very least with like something related to financial crimes, but it's hard to say what the prosecution will ultimately find.
So I think he will be convicted, but I don't think he should. In terms of financial crimes, I did have the same thoughts as Destiny previously, but after the BBC documentary, I'm not 100%.
There was a BBC documentary? Damn.
Wow.
Trove of evidence based on money laundering, and there was zero evidence. They flopped really badly, and so based on that,
we'll have to
if
watch
he
it.
did this massive investigation into money laundering and flopped, there may not be evidence. Now I accept that the Romanian authorities will have a lot more powers to look into certain regulations, or look into certain accounts that they wouldn't. So there is a possibility, but I would say based on the evidence, he should not be convicted. But based on it looks like a Romanian agenda, I think it will be.
Has Andrew Tate been a net positive or net negative for society?
I'd say net negative. I think that most of the advice that he gives is pretty stock.
I don't think his impact on society has been noteworthy at all. I think he's been a gossip point that everyone is going to forget about in fucking 2 years. Nobody is going to remember who Andrew Tate
Slightly
is.
different opinion. I have a slightly different opinion.
I mean, I respect that you have a different opinion, but that is how I feel about it. I don't think anybody's going to care who the fuck Andrew Tate is when the next Giga Chad comes by.
I think that there's a solid, like, small group of men that are definitely going to continue to act like Andrew Tate for a good portion of their life.
Sure, but like, it isn't that they're acting like Andrew Tate. They're acting like an archetype. Oh, okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There is a delay, and there was a pause, so I thought I had a chance to speak.
Okay.
And they don't have nothing or no way, or no one even cares
Well,
about them.
for example, the diehard Tate fans that live like him, speak like him, act like him, and imitate him, the ones that actually want to be Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I expect to continue to try to live the Andrew Tate lifestyle.
Sure. I just
But
feel
that's
like
a very
they
small
will.
minority. That's my only opinion, is that I think it has affected such a small minority that it does not fucking matter.
I just feel like even those people are going to just move on to the next person they see as the dominant, like the dominant alpha Giga Chad. They're not.
Well,
once they
that's
see
what
an
I mean, is that
entrepreneur that is, you know,
his
capable
mentality is what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah, his mentality is going to continue to go like to the next guy and to the next guy and to the next guy. So there's always going to be a small group of diehard Andrew Tate fans or whatever the next Chad is named.
Damn. I got blown up.
Yugi.
But like I don't think he has had any impact on society, positive or negative.
No, not on society. No. I mean on a very small group. That's what I was saying. Was I think that he's had an impact on a very small group
Hell
of
yeah.
people, but not on a large group.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
I
he
agree
was
with that.
funny.
Hmm?
I think he was funny.
I think he was funny too.
Not on purpose.
I think it's hilarious that people like Tim Pool are like, oh man, he said so many good things. It's like if just people wouldn't have listened, people would have listened. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you can say good things. It's just that if you're only saying like, if most of the things you say, if 90% of the things you say are like a little off, then it doesn't really make up for the 10% of like good things that you say. Especially if that 10% is like broken up in a way that it doesn't even seem
sound
appropriate
good.
anymore. Yeah.
Look, whenever we talk about role models, we never say that somebody is a complete role model. Like, no one's this perfect human being that you're going to aspire to be like him in 100% of the way he is. What you do is you aspire to be like that person in one aspect. So, webcam business, the way they became famous, exploitation of men, in terms of when they became rich, they're not role models. But in terms of what they are real role models is aspiring men to be better, aspiring men to work hard, aspiring men to not
Fucking 1v2
give up,
these guys.
aspiring men to, basically not go into depression. 80% of men have
We're 4-4 right now too.
80% of rough sleepers who are homeless are all men. So all of these things are imperative.
Wait, did you say 80% of young men are committing suicide?
Yeah, 80%.
That is ridiculous. Where is that stat coming from?
Yeah, where's that coming from? 80% of young men are not committing suicide.
So when you look at that, he is a massive role model in that aspect.
What percent of Andrew Tate's comments are purely for entertainment and comedic effect?
I don't like saying anything is just for entertainment or comedic effect. The types of jokes that you tell usually underline some sort of truth that you believe in. Like if I'm the type of person that tells
he's
a lot
wearing
of people
glasses.
joke, I'm probably hinting at something that's true. If you look at any popular like stand-up comedian,
He looks
generally they
good in
joke about
glasses.
things, but they
I
joke about
hate
things
that blue hair
hint at
though.
Or reveal true things about life.
Rose is so
I don't
cute.
believe that there's any comedian or person that just says things that
Oh,
completely
Rose is
things they believe.
yeah.
We generally
Rose
joke
is
about
really
things we
cute.
think are pretty true.
So
Fuck.
So I would never ever just say like I would say 0.
0%.
Yeah, it's not like just jokes.
Okay.
It's always like hinting at like an underlying ideology.
So I think there is a possibility that you could joke and it wouldn't be based on what you actually believe, because generally speaking, in society there's going to be certain levels of jokes that are not allowed, and so you're not allowed to say it. But that's in terms of preventing. But also, certain types of jokes, even if you don't believe them, is going to get you attention and attraction. So that's important. But in terms of what you're saying, yeah, in terms of his ideas, many of his ideas, when you look at it, you can, when you boil it down to the bare foundation, you can maybe find some strong academic argument. I believe I can find a lot of academic arguments for many of the points he makes. But his delivery, which is the comedic fashion, is basically there to which first of all,
Wow,
but second of all,
dude, no, it wasn't a comedic fashion unless he's just really emulating Bill Burr because he always sounded angry.
It's funny.
What is one specific thing that Andrew Tate has said that you disagree with the most?
And I'm going to show you how cool it is to use Premiere Pro to play with.
That's a good question. How about you give us yours while I think on mine? I also have to I only have 11 seconds, so I might as well give it my all. It's 5-6. I ended up covering the gap. Yeah. Oh fuck.
Damn it. Drop my vape.
Fuck me, dude. I choked. I fucking whiffed it. GG fuckers. Server health. Well, it's a good thing I'm out of here then, boys. I want one of those redneck egg rolls again. That was really good. I liked it. Did you leave again without telling me?
No.
Oh, okay. I want one of those Southwest
I told
egg
you every
rolls or
time.
whatever.
Has it not been coming through? You want one of the redneck egg rolls you weren't gonna eat?
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm just picking on you.
It's so good.
Jacob couldn't deal with the texture. You don't like egg rolls, do you? Like in general?
I can like kind of hear him. What do you say?
He said that he likes normal egg rolls, but that the pulled pork, it's a pulled pork, right?
I like the red egg.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. He didn't like the pulled pork tater tots, but he liked the redneck egg rolls. Correct myself.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was wrong, apparently. It was because of the pulled pork. And
Pulled
it
pork
wasn't
tater
the
tots
pulled
sounds
pork, it was their
delicious.
onions.
What?
I think that he didn't like the stringiness of the onions.
No.
Mm.
Ridiculous. You're making me hungry. I need a super long camera. What? I think I have rice I can make. Well, I know I have rice I can make. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I can make to put in it. There's the egg substitute.
Can I give you like a list of things
What? A list of what?
that I hate? Yeah, that I hate. That Andrew Tate has said.
Oh, yeah, I don't care. That's what
I
I
actually
originally
do have
asked you for.
notes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not a rapist, but I like the idea of just being able to do whatever I want. I like being free. While he was being investigated, he said this.
Yeah, these are all quotes from him. I imagine
Yes, they
because
are.
you're anal as fuck, so I imagine you have these written down.
One of the best things about being a man is being territorial and being able to say, that is mine.
Yeah, that's weird.
By extension, I have responsibility over her, and I must have a degree of authority. Why would you be with a woman who's not a virgin anyways? She's used goods, secondhand. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening.
If you put yourself in a position to be raped, you must bear some responsibility.
Wow.
Those are probably my least favorite things Andrew Tate has ever said. Some of those were tweeted, some of those were said. One of them was specifically said on XQC's podcast or live, whatever it was, his stream. All of these were said publicly into the entire world. None of these were old, they were all new.
Yup. He said a lot of bad things.
That's why I think that it's relevant to acknowledge that there is a small group of men that's going to continue to carry this mentality with their next leader. There's a lot of really, fucked things that he said.
Ah, fuck me, dude. Yes, there are. I shot it all the way into the corner. It's good that he is being held by Romanian police indefinitely now. Because that is exactly what's happening.
I can see if there's more.
This is a hard one because he goes back and forth on this, but it feels like his position on women, I generally would disagree with. The idea that like the husband owns the wife in such a way that she's almost like a piece of property that you cherish or revere is something that I disagree with. But he'll make other statements where he'll say like, well, no, there's like a mutual respect there, or if the woman agrees to it. And I mean, if a woman consents to that situation, it's fine. But I think in general, the way that he talks about women as being kind of like beneath men, or something that needs to be controlled by men,
okay,
and
go
then
ahead
any
and say it.
position that he has on women that involves these one-sided open relationships, I think are insane.
So I've not
picture
consumed
this.
quite a lot of Tate content
Andrew
recently
Tate's
while
best
I've been looking
friend.
into the case. I'd say basically
And
when
you
it comes to
find out he said this. I do know how to administer CPR. However, I will not administer CPR unless you're a hot female. If you're some dude and you just had a heart attack and I don't really know you, or even if you're my best friend, you're gonna die.
Wow. Because he's afraid of being homo. What? That's a
You're my
dude's lips.
friend.
I'm not
No.
doing that.
That's not the end
Nah, I'll
of
let
it.
you die,
If you're
buddy.
my friend, you just can't be a pussy. Well, I had a heart attack. Get the fuck up. Fuck's wrong with you? Go hospital later. Have a drink. Cigarette. Cup of coffee. Back in the game. Fucking have a heart attack near me, you little pussy.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yep.
Oh.
There's a lot. I wouldn't be his friend. I wouldn't be his girlfriend. I wouldn't be his Uber driver. I wouldn't deliver him pizza.
His
I
Uber
wouldn't touch him with
driver.
a 10-foot pole. In fact, I don't understand why women would.
I don't know.
I wonder, how many really gross vaginas he's been in. I think about this because a woman can be pretty and be disgusting down there. Speaking from experience, I know. Met a lot of really pretty women who are gross. So, if he's going for all of these hot ladies, what if they don't take care of themselves because they don't think they need to? And how many disgusting women has he been like, hit it from the back? Does he have diseases? Does anyone know this? Does
I mean,
anyone have this
probably.
information? Is his dick even like anything to brag about? Like, do we have anything on record about this little pussy boy man who wouldn't even save his best friend because he can't be homo? That sounds a little homo to me. I start making wild speculations accusing him of incest. I don't know. Just random shit.
I'm gonna play the video while
start
you
a
practice your
conversation
set.
about this It's just ridiculous.
It is. I'm gonna finish the video.
Finish the fucking video. I'm gonna
One
finish
guy
my
just used the example
Sharpedo,
of
you
when he
stupid.
said, he was talking about knife crime in the UK, which is obviously a problem. And then he said his solution is to basically put them in prison for life in Dubai and throw away the key. So if one assumes that he wasn't saying in comedy because it didn't seem like it was, that's not like a.
Don't hit me like Andrew Tate for saying that to you.
Of like crime punishment.
And on the opposite end, Destiny is there
Choke
something that
me.
says that you agree
I'll lock myself in a bathroom like that
I
one chick
generally
did.
like messaging that like you're the only person that can rely on yourself. I think
Andrew
people need to
Tate.
be a lot more internally driven. I think that
Honey,
right now,
they
we
are
live in a
already
time
at
in society with
1.5. I
people,
can't hear you
facing
both.
and overcoming any type of adversity. Feels like we feel like in order to make a good life for somebody, you have to remove every single obstacle in front of them. When we should probably be preparing or teaching people how to deal with obstacles. And of all of Tate's messaging, I like that part the most.
The part I like the most is, which I mentioned already, is the impact he has on young men, gives men hope. You know, in a society where, as I said, men are forgotten, men's pain is not considered. It's all about female pain and female suffering. You got a scenario where this guy actually gives men hope, gives men opportunity. I've had, and just from my own perspective, and I'm just a small guy within the sphere of social media, but the amount of people who've told me that he's basically impacted their lives in a positive manner, taken them out of depression, given them focus, given them a goal, I think is the single most important aspect of what, if he is incarcerated, which society will lose, and I believe that is a significant loss.
If not Andrew Tate, then who should young men look up to?
I've thought about this one. I had
Morgan
like,
Freeman.
I'm 34 now. I don't know. In terms of role models that people have, I would have said growing up.
Shut the fuck up,
Rogers,
Destiny.
people like
Nobody's
Bob
looking
Ross.
up to you.
I think that these are like generally good figures to look up to, like people that send messages of like.
What
hey,
did he
you're
say?
strong,
Bob
you're
Ross?
passionate. You know, people that are good like moral coaches or guides
That's
for life.
actually a really good
I
one.
don't look at a lot of young male inspiring.
Yeah, but
figures
like
today, so
current
that's what I'm
day.
thinking about.
So I agree with Destiny. The issue and the reason why Tate became famous and why he's important is because there is no other male figure. You've got, if he's out, there's nobody else to replace him right now, and that's the reason why he's important.
I mean, people hate it, but Elon. I think people should look up to Elon.
Changing his position 24/7. He's, you know,
his like
his empathy
mentality,
isn't
his
great. So
hardworking
there's many issues in
mentality,
terms of
I
the Jordan Peterson. I don't
absolutely
think people
agree
should aspire to be like. So
Yeah,
if
his
he wasn't there, there's a huge
entrepreneurial leadership, like his innovativeness, his like drive to push humanity to that next stage. Yeah, all that. I think people should stop being so.
He impacts on society. Is there anybody else who could replace him?
I don't know.
Like I said, I don't know if he gives like moral lessons. Or
Also,
coaching
if that
like
clip
Andrew
of
Tate
me
does,
ranting
I
about
think
Andrew Tate goes viral, I will not make any more
You know, I
comments.
put a poll in the chat about who won this debate. It's like literally right down the middle, 50-50.
Wow.
He's too sensitive.
With all of Destiny's
Take it too
So
seriously.
51% is what needed for the Beyond a Reasonable Doubt or whatever. We're not even there.
Balance of probabilities.
yeah,
So you're at reasonable suspicion at the moment. But the
Just
point,
like the Andrew Tate case.
yeah, but I think I did well because we got all of Destiny's fans probably voting for you as well. So, but then you probably got Tate fans voting for me. So.
Oh man.
As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized
Wow.
on a daily basis on this platform.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not surprising.
Not in the slightest.
Nope. You should get a Patreon or make your own website. Oh, wait, let's check her show more. She does not have her own website yet. She'll get one soon. Destiny, sex work is real work. Also Destiny, Andrew Tate's business is immoral. It was immoral because he was taking more of their money than he should have been. Like if that could have been an actual business deal, but he emotionally manipulated them and then drained them financially. So yeah, it was
Trapped
immoral.
some of them by moving them to completely different countries without their knowledge of there
while
being
they
other
were
women.
under the age of 18. Wow. Let's see the replies for this guy. Here, I'll move it over here so people can see too. It's this guy. If sex work is work, then the pimp is just the boss. You can't say sex work is work, then be morally outraged when someone is hiring people to cam for their company business. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy of the leftist. No, I mean, you can. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the when you start actively exploiting and trapping and all that. That isn't even all the replies.
So I think we
Oh,
should
wait,
bring
hold on.
back brothels. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with brothels.
The one brothel that we have in America is run in such a like neat, clean way. I don't understand why we can't use that as a staple and an example, as well as a good, solid argument.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like 3. There might be 3. I think.
The fucking this comment. When men are masculine and women are feminine, together have built the world. The reply. Wait, hold on. There is a reply. Can I see it? Nope, it won't show it to me. That's weird. Why? I'm confusion. I guess there isn't. There are 34 people that like that though. But until he's convicted, he is innocent.
Yes, he is technically.
Technically, yes, in the eyes of the law, but the eyes of the law and the eyes of society are two different things. You can be tried and proven innocent, and people still look at you weird because you were even because you were even assumed to be guilty of whatever crime.
Right,
is
that's
in
right.
question.
Everything I said about him was alleged.
Right until the moment that it's not.
Correct.
Well, I mean, a lot of those were like quote tweets or like quotes from
Not
things he has
those ones.
tweeted
Not
or
those
said.
ones. I meant about him and his life outside of.
Okay, whoa, hold on. 17 minutes. The Prisoner of Azkaban film, a cinematic masterpiece. What do you think?
Sure.
Oh, it's Stringo finally got to fucking Kingdom Hearts 3, dude. That's awesome. Hell yeah. He's a small YouTuber. I'm gonna go. Do I sub to him? Yeah, I am sub to him. He's got 700 subs, bro. Whoa, what was that?
What was what?
Oh, was that me? Okay, I guess it was. I guess it was my voice meter clicking out. Like it will, whenever it senses it needs to restart, it will restart itself. And I heard like a
Well, I
loud.
did also mute to like do a light cough sneeze thing.
Oh, it might have
That
been
have been it?
It might have been that. Man, we should have reacted to that dude's fucking the Fight Club thing.
I need to
A guy's
rewatch
thing
Fight
was
Club, you know that.
ridiculous. Yes, you do. Okay.
Recently, I made a video on why The Order of the Phoenix was my favorite film in the franchise, and after arguing my case, a lot of people agreed.
Okay. No joke. The Prisoner of Azkaban and The Half-Blood Prince are my two favorite books.
And I got a lot of comments saying that their favorite was the third film in the series, The Prisoner of Azkaban. So
Yes,
I decided
that
to
one
make a
was
video
really
essay
good.
on this film too. It's not my favorite, but it's by far the best film in the franchise from a technical standpoint. I actually studied this very movie during my time as a film student, and in this video I'm going to break this film down, and I'm going to explain why I have so much respect for this film from a cinematic point of view. Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to make sure you never miss a Movie Flame video. Now let's get started.
What was
God.
that?
The
I
sped
do have
up
many problems with
fucking
this film,
Harry
like the fact that they
Potter
made Dumbledore
sound.
the smartest and most powerful wizard in the world, dumb and oblivious. Or having Harry use magic outside of school in the very first scene. Or the fact that they changed Tom from the leaky cauldron to make him pointless comic relief. And some other comic relief examples that ruin the suspense of a scene, like Trelawney choking after telling the prophecy.
And servant and master shall be reunited once more.
And most of all, the fact that they completely skipped over the Marauder's backstory. And those are just a few reasons why it's not my favorite. There are many more. But this video isn't about why I dislike the film. It's about breaking down the cinematic aspect of it. As I said, I have more respect for this film than most of the others. Mainly because I see that it's not just a big blockbuster film. This is a cinematic
I imagine they didn't
masterpiece.
go through the Marauders because it would have been too
This was the only
confusing
film in
and
the
time
franchise that he directed,
consuming.
and his style of filmmaking really
Yeah.
shines. There's so many deeper meanings, incredible camera work, and just masterful direction throughout the entire film. When setting out to make this movie, Alfonso wanted to make this his own and put his stamp on it, which I think he did very successfully.
I also
His
need to
film
watch
stands out
this
more so in
movie, so I
style
won't
than
have
any of the
too
other
many
ones.
heavy
That being
opinions on
said, Alfonso realized
Oh.
that he had a big job, as this was part of a saga, and he had to keep it grounded with the first two films directed by Chris Columbus. And again, I think he did that very well too. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, was very keen on the idea of having Alfonso direct, but this decision turned many people's heads, as he just came off a very sexy, racy, and more adult film, so the idea that he was going to do a kids film was questionable to some people, but ultimately, he was the right choice. One thing he did really well was make this movie be able to stand on its own, something that the other films could not do. If you watch the other movies without seeing the rest in the series, you'll be lost. But here, part of his filmmaking style was to make it be able to stand on its own, and that's one of the reasons why it stands out so much in the series. And going off Alfonso's style and how it stands out, one of the biggest
Okay.
examples of this is the coloring of the movie. The two movies before this were very saturated with bright colors, but the third film is much darker, even the title going from gold to silver. And that darkness perfectly reflects the narrative, which has many more dark moments compared to Chris Columbus's films. While the other films were more silly and lighthearted, this movie deals with dark creatures that represent depression and other scary creatures like werewolves. There's execution, talk of murder, and it dives into darker and
Quote
deeper
unquote
faces for the characters.
scary.
When he does, I'm gonna be ready. When he does, I'm gonna kill him.
The tone and color palette shifted a great deal, and the flat lighting compared to the first two films gave way to a somber and dangerous feel, making it seem almost like a horror movie. And it's quite accurate when the Washington Post critic called it everything the first two films were not. This movie has many deeper meanings throughout, shown through cinematic techniques, and my favorite example of this is Harry and Lupin's relationship. Let's look at two scenes that the characters have together, the first one being the scene on the bridge.
That suggests that what you fear the most is fear itself. This is very wise.
The scene starts with Lupin educating Harry. As he does this, there's somewhat of a distance between the two. Notice how Harry is facing out while Lupin is facing in toward Harry. Then Harry brings up his mother, and Lupin faces out just like Harry. The two now on the same level, no longer student and teacher, but two people who have a shared feeling of loss when thinking about Lily. Then when Lupin begins talking about himself, he turns his back on Harry, unable to look him in the face as he hints at his disease that he's so ashamed of.
And a way of seeing the beauty in others, even and perhaps most especially when that person could not see it in themselves.
The camera then pans in and has a beautiful shot that separates the two by a wooden bar, and as the scene ends, the two bond over James and Lily, and Lupin comes back over, and once again, they're no longer student and teacher, but they're now friends. They've become closer during this conversation, and they stand next to each other, both facing out the same way as equals. Now, if we look at another scene between these two, this time the scene where Lupin teaches Harry the Patronus charm. This time, Harry is the one who gets vulnerable. As he talks to Lupin, they're both facing each other, but as soon as he starts talking about a very deep memory, he turns away from Lupin, unable to look at him, just as Lupin did to Harry on the bridge when he got deep. Once again, as the camera moves in, they're split apart by an object in the scene, this time the candle in the background, and the person talking and getting vulnerable is on the left, while the person listening is on the right. The scene ends very similarly to how the scene on the bridge ended as well. While the two are pretty far apart for the entirety of the scene, at the end, the two are next to each other and closer than they had been throughout. This shows that they grew closer during the events that took place, and just like the bridge scene, both are facing the same way looking at the camera. And on top of that, in both scenes, the thing that made them bond was James and Lily. It's almost as if these two scenes rhyme. It's like poetry. So what made these scenes work so well? Well, the biggest thing is the technique that Alfonso chose to use for these scenes, and really throughout the whole film, which is the long take, meaning that the scene is filmed in one shot with no cuts. Let's take a look at perhaps the best long take in the film, which was the scene in the Leaky Cauldron. This is probably the most talked about sequence in the film, and the most revered, and I'm going to explain why. It starts with a large view of the place, and we see many things going on, mostly magic stuff floating in the background, which sets the mood and tone for the Wizarding World, this being the first real scene in the Wizarding World so far in the film. The camera then moves away from the room and moves into the characters to have the audience focus on the conversation rather than the environment. It then gets really interesting when Mr. Weasley comes in. He has to have a word with Harry, and as they move, a wanted poster of Black comes into view, essentially foreshadowing what the conversation will be about. The camera moves past the poster, making the shot nothing but the wanted poster for a split second, and the really cool part about this is that from here on out, the poster of Black will stay in the shot until it moves to the last part of the scene, as Mr. Weasley tells Harry that he's in danger.
You are in danger. Grave danger.
They move closer to the poster of Black. Then Harry mentions Sirius Black.
Has this anything to do with Sirius Black, sir?
And looks at the wanted sign, and the poster that has been there throughout is finally mentioned. When Black becomes the key point of the conversation, the poster is framed in the middle of the shot in between the two characters in the scene. Then as the scene ends, we move away from the poster, and it's just the two of them in a much darker image lighting-wise, which matches the dark turn that the conversation
He's doing like
Harry
too much
realizes that Black is
describing directly what has happened. Like there isn't any narrative.
We see his reaction to it, and it ends this minute and 49-second long take.
Like all these things are kind of clear. Yeah.
Crowded and large pub, in the smallest corner
There's
with
nothing
just
to really
Harry. It
argue or
artistically shrinks the
debate.
scene more and more as it goes. This moment
Damn it,
marks a
that
crucial change in the
definitely went
narrative
in.
tone.
Nice
The film
shot.
started with two comedic scenes, Harry blowing up his Aunt Marge and the comical night bus scene. Now for the first time in the movie, the theme of grave danger is introduced, and it's something that continues throughout the rest of the movie. This long shot was Karan's way of creatively providing information about the story through choreography and movement, which is much more engaging and interesting to watch than a simple expositional table scene. And there are many other examples of long takes throughout the film, like when Dumbledore and Snape talk, and as soon as they start talking about Harry, it focuses on him. All of these long shots add so much to the scene, and they allow Alfonso to move the camera in ways that you wouldn't be able to do had you not choreographed the scene in one shot the way Alfonso insisted on doing. Another thing that Alfonso did that added so much to not just this film, but to the rest of the films in the franchise, was to focus on the geography of Hogwarts. He insisted on linking the different sets to show the relation between these places, as well as intertwining the grounds all together, and it really makes you feel like Hogwarts is alive. Not only that, but it also makes the audience know where the characters are going, and it adds wonder and suspense because you know where they're headed. It makes the audience think, oh, that's the way to Hagrid's hut. We saw that earlier. I wonder what they're going to do there. Or that's the way to the Whomping Willow. They're headed into danger. Turn back while you can. It builds so much suspense, and it really makes the audience connect with not just the characters, but the actual grounds. We come to know it and love it, just like we did with the characters. And going on that, one artistic decision that Alfonso made was to not just focus on the characters, but to also focus on the things in the magical world, and to make them a living entity. He made the characters and the environment have the same weight, and this was an interesting decision because it led to not many close-ups, as it was more powerful to blend the characters with the environment in amazing establishing shots. One of the best examples of this.
Boo.
This is the clock tower. We see Harry with this clock tower many times throughout the movie, and every time we do, Alfonso perfectly made the two mesh, and you really do focus on the clock like it's living just as much as you do on Harry. The clock is also used for great foreshadowing. Time plays such an important part in this narrative, with the time turner and the climax focusing on Harry and Hermione going back in time to save Buckbeak and Sirius. By constantly showing the clock, it gives you the idea that time is important, but it does it in such a subtle way that you don't even notice. But deep down, it's intriguing because your brain does notice it. And again, focusing on the clock, there are two scenes where Harry's by himself with the clock, and both times he's watching everybody go to Hogsmeade when he's not able to. The first time we see this, he's on the ground underneath the clock. He's vulnerable, helpless, small, and most of all, defeated. He accepts that he can't go. But in the next scene that parallels this, he's again standing with the clock as he watches them leave. But this time he's up higher. He feels more powerful looking down, and this time he's not helpless and doesn't give up. He decides that he's not just going to sit there and accept it this time, but rather he's going to sneak into Hogsmeade with his invisibility cloak. While we're on the topic of foreshadowing, another great example of this is the Whomping Willow. Alfonso utilizes this tree so well, not just by showing time pass based on seeing the tree in the different seasons, but we constantly go back to this tree, and it's foreshadowing for how important it will be later on in the narrative, as many of the most exciting and important events take place here. They also show us how dangerous the tree is in a very subtle way by showing us birds getting killed by it multiple times. It puts in our head that this tree is powerful and deadly, and now that we know that, it makes it even more suspenseful when the trio finally does encounter the tree.
What do you mean now that we know that? It is one of the main hurdles in the second movie. What are you talking about? Get me out of here. Yes, exit. Okay. Play.
wanted
How
this
much
film
is
to stand on
left?
its own. So by showing the birds getting killed, it tells us that it's dangerous, even if we didn't see the danger it imposed in the last film. The camera work throughout this film.
What do
is
you
beyond amazing.
mean? What? What do you mean? It crushed the car. Nah, no.
Forever moving, especially when giving information. It zooms in on the character who gives that information, and then zooms in on the character who's getting the information. It's a great technique, and it really adds a lot of gravity to each scene. One of the best examples of this are two scenes that end zooming in on Harry, and again, these two scenes are almost like poetry. Both examples are long shot sequences, the one I discussed earlier in the Leaky Cauldron, and another long shot scene in the Great Hall. At the end of each, Harry finds out something about Sirius Black, whether it be that he's after him, or that he was sighted near him, and both scenes start with a bunch of people at a table, and by the end, it shrinks the shot down to just Harry's reaction to this news. Alfonso also has some amazing shots that focus on glass as the camera moves through a window or a mirror, and they are without a doubt some of the coolest and most artsy shots in the entire Harry Potter film franchise. Some other really interesting shot choices are those that are from the point of view of an object or a character, whether it be from the point of view of the Jack-in-the-Box moving back and forth on Harry, or the camera flowing with the movement of the Dementor, or from the point of view of the Whomping Willow Branch, and even seeing the
I'm bored. I have no way to react to this.
I don't like the way my Sharpedo came out. I'm sad.
Aw. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Dance with me, Lois. It is 10:08.
I'm gonna paint another one since I don't like my Sharpedo. He'll still go in my book of Pokemon cards. There it is.
I want food.
Alright, let me look at my file of videos real quick.
I want
I'll
food.
name some off frame. I'll go in the back because he's Garbo. Bye, Sharpedo.
Bye, Sharpedo.
Yay, Sharpedo.
I'm uninstalling Apex.
Go ahead.
I never play it. Not anymore. Uninstall. It's also like 50 gigs or some shit like that. What? The end of Zelda? No. No. Maturing with your audience. How to Train a Dragon. The room temperature room.
There's the Woke Developers Are Destroying Games by Sydney Watson. Detransitioners are trying to warn us. Comment section.
We watched the Woke Developers Are Destroying Gaming, didn't we?
Oh. I don't
Here,
know.
we'll watch it on stream.
There's also Do You Trust Your Children with These People by Ben Shapiro from 3 weeks ago.
Okay. We got Sydney up, so.
This all the time, but this really is never ending. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. Now, for those of you who don't know, I play video games in my free time because it's a way to switch my brain off. It's also very cathartic, so I don't commit murder. I'm just kidding, Mr. FBI man. Just kidding. But seriously, gaming really is a great way to just tune the world out. And when I've had a particularly bad day or I've been looking into something extremely messed up, it's always good to be able to just sit down and completely tune everything out and not have to be exposed to more politics. Some people choose to read books, others choose to watch Netflix. I choose to throw axes at dead people. So you can imagine the collective disappointment felt when leftists make sure to get their creepy little tendrils into one of the only things left that we can actually enjoy. More and more as games are released or even updated and remastered, you see more and more political messaging in games that otherwise didn't have it before. And it goes beyond that too. It isn't just political messaging, sometimes there is a time and place for that. But this goes into other realms of social conditioning that we haven't seen before. I mean, realistically, we probably have seen it before, I'm just probably noticing it now. Unnecessary political and social messaging is already pushed in basically every other medium, whether it be entertainment, on social media, through streaming services, celebrities. Take your pick, really, just take your pick. It's like a plague.
My toxic trait is that I feel like a literal god when I look this hot.
And some of us were stupid enough to think that video games might continue to be more or less safe from that. But we were wrong. There are countless games that have gotten the same woke treatment. A continued sore spot for a lot of people is The Last of Us 2, which basically simultaneously gave up, but also tried too hard, all at the same time, as far as the storyline went. Actually, in recent news, you guys are gonna love this. The Last of Us TV series that's coming out has introduced some race swap characters, can you believe it? And I expect the whole thing will just be something akin to this.
Has the planet gone mad?
I have recently noticed a lot of forced messaging in games that I like and in franchises that I like, and I just sort of feel like, can I just not enjoy anything? In recent news, the Days Gone writer and creative director.
Okay, so while I agree that I don't like having like controversial messaging like pushed in my face constantly, like especially when I'm trying to do something that I relax to, like just its mere existence doesn't always mean that it's there just to provoke you, I guess is
Agreed. I absolutely agree.
like like you've got to be able to tell the stories at some point. I mean,
Yeah.
it does feel like a little much currently, but like those stories should still exist in some way.
I agree.
Blamed woke reviewers for the game's low critic scores. He tweeted several reasons for the low reviews, with the final one being that woke reviewers couldn't handle a gruff, white biker looking at his date's butt. I mean, he's probably not wrong. Now, obviously, some people have pushed back here and said, no, it was just a not very good game, and maybe that's the truth of the matter. But I think the misunderstood point here is that what users want is often extremely different to what developers and reviewers want. An article from 2019 made note
I
of
heard you
several
showing
reviewers
me
who complained
Oceana.
about the
What the
game's
fuck?
white protagonist. They also complained about having to kill child zombies because okay. Another article noted, if Deacon St. John, who is the main character in Days Gone, was a bisexual biker boy who preached for the greater good, the game would have still been the same. It would have still revolved around a drab world that many struggle to care for. I found this article excerpt to be particularly not intelligent because what this writer fails to understand is that, yes, the user experience likely would have been the same, where the user would have found the world to be drab, but as far as critic reviews go, they probably would have loved it for all the aforementioned things. And that's the point, right? The gaming world is becoming just like other forms of entertainment, superficially inflated and directed by progressive woke lunatics who don't actually care about the game, but the game's messaging. Which brings me to Modern Warfare 2. Now, I am acutely aware of the fact that this isn't necessarily hot news because it's been a couple weeks since this was being talked about, but honestly, I didn't really see a lot of coverage about this particular issue, so I wanted to address it. But before you once again board my hell gondola and I potentially ruin your whole day, let's hear from today's sponsor, Blissey. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The Sydney was dreaming from her side of the bed, with a silk Blissey pillowcase under her head.
Nope, sorry,
Click the
Sydney.
link in the description for up to 45% off your purchase. And make sure to place your orders before December 16 to ensure they arrive in time. The new Call of Duty called Modern Warfare 2, I don't know why my mouth can't say that, came out at the end of October. Call of Duty is a franchise of military games that involve campaign-style gameplay or online multiplayer gameplay where if you're anything like me, you just die endlessly because the kids in China are better
Yes, thank you, Sydney. Thank you for telling us about a 20-year-old franchise.
than you at this. I can't stress enough that Call of Duty is a military game. You run around shooting things, throwing grenades, insulting everyone around you as a form of male bonding. It is not, by any stretch of the imagination, warm and fuzzy. This isn't the adult equivalent of Barbie Race and Ride. Although given enough time, it probably will be. So in recent news, the Modern Warfare developers decided to add some things to this game that left people feeling a little confused and a little upset. Because apparently if you make any sort of entertainment, then you inevitably catch the Netflix, Marvel,
What?
I remember this video now. I'll keep playing
and
it, though.
Disney bug. Stupid. Military game Call of Duty goes woke. No American flag, 22 gay pride flags, burning US flag, BLM allowed, but not WLM or FJB. What a headline. What the hell is WLM?
What is
Women
FJB?
like men? Oh no, I can see why that was banned. No, it's White Lives Matter. Oh.
What is
well, that makes a
FJB?
lot more sense. Stupid. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
I
the
don't
latest
know.
installment in the franchise's runaway success, and was released on October 28, 2022.
God, that just shows my ignorance.
Not one, but 22 pride flags and no American flags. as
God
well.
damn, I
All
am
signs of
still
blood
I
are-
am still waiting on assets to finish loading for this goddamn game.
Oh, fuck Joe Biden. That makes sense.
What? Oh, fuck Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Oh.
Are basically one of the ways that you can distinguish yourself from other players in the game, and in days gone by, many of the flags that were available were country flags, not pride flags. Now, of the 29 flag options in this new game, 22 of them are pride flags. 22 of them? We're talking about
22? God. That's a little excessive.
pride flags for sexualities that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, it's a collection
Our
of
species is what-
many. I've seen it. Here, I'll go through the list
I
in a
need to
second.
turn
I'll
you
look
down
up
a
which
little
all of them are, because that's ridiculous to me. That's
It-
fucking ridiculous.
that's insane. 22? That's just insanity. Sorry. I guess I'm a bigot. I don't even know how to be anymore.
100% gonna die out.
So I just bought the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I only have one gripe so far since playing the game. So I just started playing online last night, and for anybody who's ever played a Call of Duty game, you know you can customize your online characters, you can customize what they call calling cards, which is kind of what you see in the background here. So from the outset
His name is Culture Counterattack.
of this, you have 29 different calling cards that you can choose from.
You have 29.
7 of those are random, like Call of Duty
So out of 29, 22 of them.
Jesus.
That's so ridiculous.
The type calling cards. 22 out of the 20.
I would have absolutely no problem with that high number if there were also like all of the national flags that used to be there, like Japan and like I would even like have a North Korean flag. I don't really care. Like if that's the kind of weirdo you want to be in a fictional battle simulator game, go ahead. But like to have them and not have the others is ridiculous.
I agree. It's
9
a,
calling cards that you.
It's a COD game. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's military warfare. What do you? So if their nations aren't allowed, am I supposed to interpret that as meaning that Call of Duty games are about the different factions of the LGBT infighting? Is that what I'm supposed to take from that? It's
You
so
can pick
dumb.
from the outset are all pride flags. Nothing against the pride flag. You want pride flag? That's fine. But
Yeah.
where the is the American flag? Activision. It's a military-based game. You don't have one American flag in there?
Jokes aside, this is an issue that developers run into all the time these days. They prefer to make games for their staff rather than for the audiences that actually buy them. The people who keep them employed so that they can drink their soy milk.
Well, I mean, like, you know, to be devil's advocate, of course, if I'm a developer, I'm going to play a game I want to play. Like, I'm going to put my interests in there.
We got a list of what some of the flags are.
What?
Updated gay pride of what some of the flags are.
Oh, okay.
Updated gay pride flag, lesbian pride flag, intersex pride flag, bisexual pride flag, trans pride flag, pansexual pride flag, asexual, non-binary, agender, genderqueer, gender fluid. I think that there's more, but I'm not seeing them. Like answers to what they mean. I don't know what they mean.
I don't know what they mean.
Lattes and vote for Biden. People were also pointing out that there isn't a possibility to select an American flag, or any other country flag for that matter, as a cosign, but the only American flag that they found in the game is on fire, burning on the ground. Very good. This actually reminded me a little bit of the controversy surrounding the Spider-Man game for PC that was happening in August, where someone made a mod that changed all the pride flags in the game to American flags. The mod was labeled homophobic, it was deleted, and the creator was banned from mod hosting websites. Because the mod creator also referred to the pride flag as stupid, one mod hosting site responded on Twitter saying that ModDB is an inclusive environment for all, and we do not permit targeting marginalized groups. Our content moderation is largely automated, but when identified, we have a zero tolerance policy for this kind of content. But to be honest with you, and just, you know, because I'm obviously a pessimist and a negative Nancy about a lot of these things, I still think this situation would have gone the same way, regardless if the mod creator referred to pride flags as stupid or not. I still think that they would have seen this, decided that it was an attack on homosexuality and on pride, and then subsequently removed the mod anyway, because no American flags allowed. It feels like this is so present in so many different areas of the entertainment space or the creation of entertainment space, where a huge portion of people view any sort of nationalism as a huge problem. And the funny thing is, these people, these developers, these creators would rather give us 22 pride flag options rather than letting people select a flag that represents their country or a country that they like. Because it's not like these pride flags represent a very small portion of the population in the first place. And an even smaller portion of the population who are playing Call of Duty. I love modern society so much. It absolutely does not feel like I'm being crushed to death by stupidity. But Modern Warfare 2's game changes don't stop there. People have pointed out that you can make your clan name BLM, but if you try to use WLM or FJB, these are prohibited due to profanity. I did it! I lived long enough to see White Lives Matter become profanity, or women like men become profanity. I think both work. I think both are offensive to these kinds of people. I guess the most ironic thing, and for me the funniest thing, or the saddest thing, depending on your perspective, is that I don't know how many of you have played Call of Duty or who consistently play it, but if you've been in one of these game lobbies or just been playing the game on multiplayer online in general, you're gonna hear a lot of swearing, you're gonna hear a lot of slurs, and if you don't have a thick skin, you are 100% gonna be offended. It is the verbal Wild West. People do not hold back and they do not give a crap. It makes me wonder how long it will be before these gaming developers or these gaming outlets, so to speak, start trying to enforce censorship in game chats.
Oh, they're already actively trying to
Intel
do
unveils
it.
a tool to censor hate speech
Yeah,
in video
that's
game
what I was
voice
about
chat.
to
I'm a
say.
fortune teller. Leap's central interface, I guess the thing that censors people, is designed to be easy enough for the average gamer to understand. Well, that's a bold assessment there. It operates via toggles and sliders and allows the player to control exactly how much offensive speech is bleeped
Rust
out.
is a little
Players can choose to
too,
hear none, some, most, or all, and under which
graphic
category of slurs,
intensive
ableism and
to do. That makes me sad.
body shaming, aggression, LGBTQ plus hate, misogyny, name calling, racism and xenophobia, sexually explicit language, swearing, white nationalism, and every possible variant of the N-word. How does one exactly bleep out ableism and white nationalism? How is this even real? So there you have it, bleeping out the voice chat. Very good. I guess my overall point here is that it's incredibly frustrating and distressing in a lot of ways to watch yet another medium be taken over by the same people who've taken over other areas of entertainment. This is something I actually want to expand on in a deep dive because I have a lot to say about this and a lot of examples that maybe people haven't thought of before, but I will save that for another video. As per usual, and this is not news to any of you, I think that it's quite clear that a lot of developers and critics are incredibly out of touch with the audiences who actually consume this sort of media and play these games. And the reason I personally think this is a massive problem is because these people inevitably go on to make changes to games, or just make games in general, that are unnecessary and inappropriate to suit their own agendas and narratives. Absolutely nothing is sacred and nothing is safe. In the end, I do view this as yet another way for a message to be pushed artificially and to the detriment of gamers all over the place. Now, on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder to check out Blissi using the link in the description for
It's pretty much over.
Yeah, I know. I was just laughing.
What was the other one that you said?
It was Brett's. It's I think it's from today. I think you just here. Let me pull it back out.
Yeah, as a developer, I'm gonna make whatever I want to make in a game. So like, if people aren't happy with it, that's fine. I don't think developers should cater to fans. I think that sets a really weird precedent where fans can order a franchise around and manhandle it, and I don't like that.
The trans movement is hurting young women. Feminists can't even define the patriarchy.
Hold on, Elden Ring is being fucking loud. God, the master is just always so loud.
That's okay.
Okay, which one was it for Brett?
Welcome back to the comment section.
Trans movement is hurting young women, and feminists can't even define the patriarchy. Those are two that I have. They're from today and yesterday. Or yesterday and 2 days ago, one of the two.
Okay. Oh, it's an off the
Welcome
clock.
back to another segment of Off the Clock. I'm going to react to another full-length video today, but that was not the intention when I started putting together this video. I had noticed this influx of videos from detransitioners, whether it be, they fully regret their experience or they're wanting to shed light on the parts of medically transitioning that they feel like are not told to people, talking about how they were influenced as children. And I saw all of these videos drop within the span of like 2 months. And it seemed like every day there was a new one, and then I kind of went through and I searched and it was like 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, within the last month. And I just found that interesting because I did that whole episode about detransitioners over the holiday break, and I pulled most of those videos from social media. So those were shorter TikToks, clips from Twitter, and I wanted to give a platform to some of these stories as well. And so we were going through these different videos, but this one stood out to my team and I just because of how, articulate this young woman is. And so we're just gonna watch the whole thing because, again, historically, these people's stories and what they have to say are suppressed. Doctors refuse to acknowledge it. There is not a lot of data about detransitioning because a lot of that is done outside of the medical world. You just stop taking your hormones, you socially detransition. There's not data on it. People brush them aside as if they don't matter because it's not socially advantageous to the narrative. And so I wanna make sure we have space for stories like these.
Hello, this is a weird video for me to make, but it's something that I've spoken about on this channel before, and that is the fact that I used to believe, or I used to be trans, and since then I have detransitioned. I was very young when I started feeling issues with my body and my self-esteem. I was maybe 8 or 9 when I hit puberty, and it was around this time that sort of my anxiety started, that I started feeling discomfort within myself. And when I got into high school, I fell in with sort of an LGBT friend group. In this friend group, everyone sort of aligned their identities so fully with their sexuality or their gender that I began to believe that this was like normal, that it was normal to have your sort of only personality trait being your gender or your sexuality.
This is a perfect example of what we mean when we say that this is social contagion. It's very, very normal to be uncomfortable in your body as a young person. Going through puberty, starting middle school, high school, it's a weird time. Nobody has fun. Things are changing, hormones are
that has always
raging.
been so
It's very, very
strange to
normal.
me.
And because, like she was saying, sexuality.
And not to like delegitimize anybody who is trans and, But like
Oh,
that is something that me, a non-trans individual, went through in high school. Like where you don't. I feel like that's anything anybody who takes mushrooms goes through, where you are very concerned and interested in your own existence and like you existing as a conscious person inside a body, as well as
No,
a
well,
number
that's
of
not
other
what she
questions.
It's not what she's talking about.
Is it? Is it not?
She means like they made their entire personalities their genders.
LGBT friend group. In this friend group, everyone sort of aligned their
Oh,
identities
no, I get
so
that.
fully with their sexuality or their gender that I began to believe that this was like normal, that it was normal to have your sort of only personality trait being your gender or your sexuality.
This is a perfect example of what we mean when we say that this is social contagion. It's very, very normal to be uncomfortable in your body as a young person.
That was what I was talking about. I was only reacting to her little bit of where she said it's normal for you to be uncomfortable in your body. That was all I was talking about. I was like, why is she not understanding what I said? Give me a second. I need to get a battery. Yeah, I know that you can hear me, so I'll just go ahead and say something real quick. Yeah, I don't... To make your whole personality be your sexuality or your gender identity is very weird, and I don't really understand that.
Agreed. I don't understand why groups like to push it on people either.
That seems like a really quick way to make you a shallow, one-dimensional person that is not very interesting to talk to. Because you only have one character trait, and it's whatever that thing is that you are, like, fixated on.
Going through puberty, starting middle school, high school, it's a weird time. Nobody has fun. Things are changing. Hormones are raging. It's very, very normal. And because, like she is saying, sexuality and who you're attracted to has become like this defining characteristic in your personality and kind of defines who you hang out with and your coolness, obviously people are going to gravitate towards that, especially because in the like hierarchy of, I guess like a weird way, social classes, the LGBTQ community dominates right now. They say they're oppressed, but they dictate trends. They are shown in every kind of advertisement. They're the cool, trendy, edgy, going against the status quo kids when literally like they are.
We were
not
talking
really
about
going
that
against the status quo,
earlier.
they're
How is
dictating the
that
status
even
quo. So,
happening? Like, how is a minority of people wielding so much social power?
Well, when I was like really hardcore part of that social group, it kind of seemed as though did it by painting this narrative of I'm constantly a victim, and then when we were,
Well,
I guess
and
it's not they, it's we, because I still am. When we were no longer heavy victims, we decided to keep pushing it because it was still working.
Yeah, I guess exploiting the fact that people don't really want to be hateful. Like, yes, there are groups of people and there are bad people everywhere in the world, but that doesn't mean that people as a whole want to be bad. They want to be caring. I don't remember how to two-hand. Fuck.
You want to hear a funny
Ooh,
meme?
shut. Yeah, definitely.
Mom, I support you. Me, 4 years later. Okay, you know what? Fuck this and fuck her. I'm forging her signature to get on hormones, stealing her cash for the hormone copay, and getting the fuck out of the house as soon as I can. Random man responding. Back in my day, this sort of behavior was reserved for heroin addicts. Another person responding, listen, I was a heroin/meth addict for years, and I didn't even do shit like this. Another person responding to that. Today, I learned that trans people have less morals than meth addicts.
Damn. Oh fuck.
Thought that was good.
That is hilarious. I love that. Oh fuck, Margaret, you're dead. You're dead. Bruh. Bruh. Fall before me, you fucking wretch. Alright, what is Brett saying?
Obviously, confused young people, if they are brought into that group, and no shit, they might have some confusion.
I fully remember many of my friends saying, oh, my only personality trait is that I'm gay or whatever. And that was the way that I thought friendships and that I thought people were supposed to be, that we were in this sort of righteous bubble that sort of defied societal conventions. And when I
Holier
sort
than
of
thou.
saw the idols that my friends looked up to, people like Elliot Page or Hunter Schafer, I would see posts from trans people that say essentially, you know, I struggled with my body a lot when I was younger, and then I finally realized that I was trans, and I decided to fully transition, i.e. like double mastectomy or bottom surgery.
Oh,
And
that's
then
her
finally
video. I
felt
kept thinking
happy.
it was
And when you're young,
me.
you don't really tend to sort of assess the information
With the,
that you
like,
take in.
chickens and
You sort
stuff.
of
I was like,
see-
where is that
well,
coming
at least
from?
for me, when I saw that information, I thought to myself, okay, well, not instantly, but over time you come to think, okay, well, that is the solution to issues with your body and issues with your femininity.
For generations, it has commonly been understood the young people do not make the best decisions. There's a reason why there is a voting age. There's a reason why you cannot join the military until a certain time. You can't buy cigarettes, buy alcohol, get a tattoo. You can't consent to medical treatment. However, the narrative is completely flipped when it comes to this ideology. And when talking about young people who believe that they're trans, it's like, oh, well, obviously they know what is best for them. They feel it. This is we must support the children. But no, they are confused. They are following a trend. They are following a crowd. But there are so many other young people out there who just have no idea what is going on. And like she said, do not have the ability to think critically about, I wonder if the information that I am perceiving and understanding is good for me. And I wonder if I am taking this as reality when really it's just my stupid idiot friends also being ridiculous and insecure and confused. Maybe that should not be like the word of God in a way.
I decided very, very early in my life, I think as soon as I was 12 or 13, that the second I turned 16 or 18 or I'd raised enough money, I would essentially run away from home and get a double mastectomy. My parents weren't even necessarily against trans people, but the whole sort of
Wow, it's
culture
so
of
funny that she said that
LGBT,
after I read that fucking meme.
culture of LGBT teens is that
Run away
you
from
are
home
in
and
some
get a
ways
double
misunderstood by
mastectomy.
your parents.
Yeah.
I know now that my parents love me no matter what, but still I would find reasons to sort of resent them and to find sort of excuses to isolate myself further and further from them. Probably because this is what my friends were also doing and what a lot of the people I admired went through too, like issues with their parents, which is really sad looking back on.
It's literally just 2023's version of peer pressure. And going through trends, being goth, being emo, terrible low-rise jeans, whatever it is. Except this actually has irreversible damage on your body if you take it too far. But everything she is saying, peer pressure, learning from your friends, social contagion.
I'm very, very skeptical of a movement that directly or indirectly, this is a very charged sort of, it's charged vocabulary. I don't intend it to be sort of criminalizing them, but I'm very skeptical of a movement that sort of isolates children from their parents and makes them question their parenting and almost encourages them to step away and to sort of have a found family rather.
I'll be even more brazen than she is because I really don't care about people finding this and canceling me and being upset at me because they already are if they don't like me. They are not unintentionally trying to separate children from their parents. They are with everything that they do. I mean, think about schools. You send your kid to a school for 6 to 8 hours a day. That is really, really imperative, important time you are losing with your kid, and that teacher is taking over for you, basically. Is teaching your kids about, social constructs, about gender ideology. They're the ones teaching sex ed. They're introducing them to all of these really, really charged subjects.
My
You should be
thought
able
on that
to
is
teach your children
that
about
started out as something completely innocuous and something that was helping, a portion of of society that didn't feel heard. Whereas, now it has morphed into this weird thing that feels very strange to talk about. I never thought at any point that I would have to have an opinion on whether or not I want teachers telling my kids about sex before I do.
Well, for example, at my old school, I started a GSA, which we never had, got a teacher that was willing to sponsor it. It only had 8 members, and we found a reputable, went through the school checked her out, found a reputable GSA, sex ed teacher to come in for a 20-minute speech. It wasn't about teaching us about sex. It was about teaching us essentially about how AIDS is an issue.
Like
condoms
venereal
are
disease
important.
and stuff.
Focusing on more things that affect the gay, lesbian, homosexual, transsexual, transgender community. And it was great. And so looking at what that was versus teachers just reading middle schoolers pornography, I feel like that's just a huge leap. And that only was 2-3 years ago that I was doing something that was that minor and that just totally helped, and it was good enough. It was perfect, actually. It was perfect. Everything was equal. And now it's like they want, I guess it's not just they, because I am hence the pan. Yeah, pan. Bye.
You're like, I gotta figure out how I classify myself really quick.
But no, I just it seems like they want more than just equality. It seems like
Well,
they want
we've heard that, but that's what equity is. They want more.
brainwashy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very brainwashy too.
It is very brainwashy. I agree.
All right, well, continue the video.
Okay. I just got attacked by a bird. That's why I kept saying
And then we
fuck.
see in everything from
Because it
Disney
was
TV
like, it
shows
came
to,
out of
like,
nowhere,
mainstream Hollywood
bro.
entertainment, children hating their parents and being distant from their parents. That was one of the reasons why my mom never let me watch Disney Channel, because she would always say, you are never more rude to me and disrespectful and angry than after you've gone to a friend's house or been in a hotel and have watched Disney Channel. Because all of the characters on those shows, they were so disrespectful to all of their parents. And they're
Yeah, fair enough. I've noticed that with Cadence and Matt before. Like, if they watch Crybabies, oh god, they're little monsters. I hate letting them watch Crybabies because they turn into little brats.
Your gift is these
My
frogs
parents
together.
have told me
I feel the light shining.
If you keep acting like
Fuck.
this every time you come back from your friend's house, we're not gonna let you go over there anymore.
Magic. She's that good.
Ah! Ah! Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. I died. Damn it. I was just in the process of healing. Oh. Fuck. Then I let that whole ad play.
Damn it. Did you hear
so
what I said?
the parents are out of the picture.
Partially, I was dying. What did you say?
I said my parents always said that if you keep acting like this when you come back from their
Oh,
house,
yeah.
whoever it was, you're not going to be allowed to go over there anymore constantly every time I came home.
Yeesh.
I always hung out with some pretty shady people. If not
do you-
shady, their parents didn't care as much as mine, and I wanted mine to care as much as theirs did, so a lot less.
Fair enough. I am hungry. I need to take sleepy meds and then get ready
Oh,
for.
are we about done?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wish we could do more, but I have to work tomorrow.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or they depict them
I'm
as
probably
being
gonna
idiots.
stay
Like,
up
think
for a
back about
while,
all of those
that's
Disney and
okay.
Nick shows. The
Yeah,
parents are bumbling
that's fine.
morons and like don't pay attention to what their kids are doing. Things like that make an impact subconsciously. And then we think about Hollywood and we see these TV shows like Euphoria. The parents are obviously not involved, a hands-off situation. Then we see what goes on in government, where if you do not allow your child to transition, if you say no, I don't want you to go on hormones, your rights can be stripped. That's not just something that's happening in Canada. It's happening here in the U.S. Parents are terrified to lose custody, to push back against this, because not only will they get canceled, but they could lose their kids. So I will be totally brazen and stand totally confidently in the statement that yes, they are trying to take your children from you, emotionally, physically, legally, because that is how you gain control over an entire generation. Mic drop, if I do say so myself. But she's making incredible points, but I was just going to drive it home because I don't really worry about people being pissed at me.
It was very, very easy to fall into the mindset of no one understands me, I'm from a different generation, my issues are completely unique to me. But the truth is that when I spoke about it later on, sort of after with a few of the women in my family, they too have like struggled with feeling feminine in their younger years. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're trans. No one ever explained to me
Yeah, exactly.
that puberty would be a difficult time emotionally. I knew, of course, that like
I do wish my
hormones were
mom had
high
explained that to
and,
me a bit better.
like, my body would
Excuse
change,
me,
but
'cause I
that was
think
about
that I
it.
would
No one
have
ever told me
different
that it's a strange feeling going from sort of childhood to adulthood. And the difficulty of that does not point necessarily to your gender identity. It just points to sort of your own discomfort and mental health.
I think that's an important point because you have this entire, age group of people who are already struggling, uncomfortable, and like she said, you're provided a solution. And that solution tells you that, you're going to be totally happy and comfortable in your body, you're going to be the real you, you're going to be with a really cool group of people, you're going to be rebelling, you're going to be different than your parents. When, like she said, it's not a solution at all. It's just kind of like baiting kids into it. Well, baiting is the right word, but the foundation that puberty lays is just a very vulnerable time.
I publicly identified as trans or non-binary for 4 years until I was, I think, 15 or 16, and after which I sort of made an Instagram post that said, I'm not trans anymore. And then I think I deleted Instagram and I sort of isolated myself for a very long time because whether or not it was real, I sort of perceived the whole wide world to be against me. So I had sort of built myself into this little victim mindset because, of course, people didn't fully understand the fact that I was non-binary. I mean, a lot of people did not because we were 12 and 13 and this was a new thing. But I took that very, very personally and I took that to mean that they were against me when they probably weren't. I assumed that the people who had been my friends when I was trans would stop being my friends after I stopped being trans, which was true. My LGBT friend group pretty much instantly disowned me. And I them to some extent.
God
because
damn
I was
it.
slowly coming to terms with the fact that I did not want to be friends with people who I considered to be superficial. The next couple of years after I sort of publicly detransitioned were very, very hard. It was really difficult to sort of re-establish myself knowing that I had made such a huge mistake. And that was probably amplified by my own feelings of depression and social anxiety.
I have to say, I'm incredibly impressed with the self-awareness that she has. She's
kinda
not only just talking
heartbreaking.
about, the culture that she is in school and this friend group, but she's
Like, I know
acknowledging,
that
okay, I
experienced
felt
a
like
very
this.
similar thing, but because I moved states, it didn't impact me heavily.
Yeah. Whereas, this sounds pretty impactful.
Which allowed me to
Yeah,
be
this
vulnerable
sounds like
to that.
it was pretty big.
I had this victim mentality. It's just incredibly impressive. That's hard to do, and it's even harder to publicly talk about. So it's just impressive. And also, it breaks my heart hearing the part of that story where she felt like she had to delete Instagram, be totally, which is healthy, so it's nothing against that, but where she felt like she had to totally isolate herself because she had made this mistake and was, going against this ideology that nobody wanted to hear her story. So many of these detransition stories, they're suppressed because they are immediately exiled from that community. Doctors don't want to hear it doesn't fit an agenda. Obviously, you're going to feel alienated, which it should not be that case.
I don't think I ever fully reintegrated back into like high school society after that because I found it really embarrassing. It was a difficult thing to have gone through so young and to base your whole identity around, and it's such a big thing that when you realize that you're no longer that thing, the people around you just turn, essentially. Being so young, I was so impressionable. I read recently that it takes 14 times of being told something for a child to believe it, and so I suppose it could have just been that I was told so many times, it's possible that you're trans, it's possible that you're trans, that eventually I started to believe it.
That is just, I never heard that number before. That is crazy.
God, that's
Like,
ridiculous.
Think about the content that children
That's
consume.
a
They're
100%
subconsciously
real
learning
thing.
all this, whether or not somebody's telling them you are gay, you are whatever, you are trans. They're learning all of this subconsciously if their teachers are saying, oh, anybody could be anything, you can change your gender at any time. If it's only 14 times that has to occur, yeah, like no shit, this is a problem. Of course they're misguided. Of course they can't make an informed decision. They're 12 or 13 years old, maybe even younger.
No one really talks about the rising amount of young women who at some point considered themselves trans, either medically transitioned or didn't, and then came to regret it. The only real time I've heard this discussed publicly or online was through a Joe Rogan podcast with Abigail Shriya, who has also written a fantastic book. But she basically says that to some extent, being transgender now is to depressed teenage girls what, say, anorexia was in the 90s or drugs were in the 70s.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
sort of what girls who have home problems, who have issues with their body, who have issues with their family, it's what they turn to as a solution for their identity. Or not solution, but what they base their identity around.
So I talked about this in other videos and totally open about it. Told the story about my mom in the car with me when I was probably 15 or 16. I need to actually figure out what year this was. But where I was struggling so much and I totally rejected every part of my femininity. Puberty was awful. I hated it. I didn't feel like I fit in with girls, and so I dressed like a butch, and I acted like a guy, and I only had guy friends, and I would say, I don't have any feelings for guys. Like, I don't do that. I'm not silly. I'm whatever. And she had to literally stop the car and say, like, it is okay to be both. You do not have to reject the parts of your personality that make you a tomboy, that make you like running with the guys and like playing those sports. That does not make you have to reject the things that make you a woman, that make you female. And it was a really, really pivotal and important conversation, and I'm so grateful that she had the awareness of the situation to be able to bring that up in a very matter-of-fact way. And I think a lot of parents were shied away from that kind of conversation.
must
So I'm
be
very
nice.
grateful that my mother's not shy about anything, but it was a really, really important conversation to have.
Yeah, it
Like,
must have been
probably
nice.
anorexia, that sort of thing. Like, I also
Ah, fuck.
disorder. Like, I had as many things you could cram into a childhood. I basically had it, and so it was so important that these conversations were had with me, and that I was taught self-awareness at a very young age, that I was taught healthy coping mechanisms. And I know therapy can be controversial these days, but I'm so glad that I went to a therapist who did not tell me to change my gender and did not let me feed into any of that. I never thought
I
that
am
was
not
true.
happy that I went to a
Just
child
hearing
therapist.
stories like these, talking about young women who come from like broken families, who have dealt with so much stuff, that already felt like they didn't fit into their bodies and didn't feel like they fit as a woman. That might have happened. That was me. I fit perfectly into that model. And I'm somebody now that is like so, I stand so strong in these values that I speak against this, and it's just shocking to me that literally like less than 5 years ago could have been me. Food for thought, guys.
I can see it now, how incredibly high the levels of transgender people are rising, particularly amongst young teenage girls. I mean, it's unprecedented. It's a several 1,000% increase in the last 20, 30 years. And you have to consider that some of that must be cultural and some of that must be societal. I don't think it happens organically that, such a huge percentage of young girls just wake up one day and realize that they're trans.
Another point on this, a lot of people who kind of fight back against these statistics, they say, well, the numbers are exploding because this generation is just, more progressive and it's accepting, more people are coming out. Yeah, with this generation being more accepting, the subject matter is being discussed more openly. People are being taught about it at rates that we've never seen before. So by default, that is cultural. By default, that is influence, whether you like it or not. So you can't objectively say, oh no, this is all biological, this is all natural. No, you are basically finding the fault in your own argument because you're admitting that there is a greater awareness, greater conversation. We're all open about this. Then what is the result of those conversations, of it being portrayed in the media, of it being this like cultural phenomena and, social contagion?
But the trouble with this is, despite the fact that I date women, not exclusively, I don't identify as being part of the LGBT community because to me, the LGBT community, or the one that I have experienced, clings so much to its beliefs and to its system and its agenda.
It makes me think of that video that I reacted to. It was a guy, and he was like, you aren't queer if you never wore a mask. Like, queerness is political. The Q stands for, like, social justice, which was like, okay, that actually makes sense because I've never known what the Q actually stood for. But it is totally true what she is saying. They are part of an ideology. They have an agenda as a community. My friends who are gay or lesbian, they totally reject that. They also totally reject the fact that their sexuality is the end-all be-all of their personality. It's, like, the least interesting thing about them. My best friend, Amir, is gay, and he has a husband, and, we go do things together. And yet I'm not sitting around thinking about his sexuality all day. He doesn't sit around talking about it all day. He's just Amir. He doesn't identify with any of that because he doesn't.
He's
feed
just
into the
Amir.
political shit. But anyway,
God,
that reminded me of that
leave
video.
Amir
He's
alone.
like, oh my God, you're saying the quiet part
Oh
so
God,
out loud.
oh
We have been
God,
saying
oh
that you're
God.
admitting it. Like a weird gotcha that didn't do anything because it's not like they're ashamed of their political agenda. They're so happy to own it, which is even weirder.
I don't think it's right to sort of attack anyone who doesn't agree with your specific dogma. And this is in no way an attack. If anything, it's me speaking about my own experience in not officially, but rather leaving the LGBT community. And it's a difficult thing to talk about. I know that a lot of people will probably resent me for putting out this video, despite the fact that I've tried to stay as true to my own emotions and experiences as possible, but I do it with no malice in my heart. If anything, I do it out of empathy for other young girls who are like me, who see this as the new solution to their issues with themselves and their femininity. Every day I am so grateful that like my parents didn't have enough money for me to medically transition at 12 or 13, or that I didn't run away from home and decide to have a double mastectomy. And
Yeah, damn. Because a lot of parents would have just been like, you know what, I guess we'll do it just to like help her out or just to shut her up.
Yep.
And you know, this is becoming a rarity these days. Like, I am shocked that she was able to go through this, like, you know, 4.5, 5-year journey and not get, you know, started on hormones.
and
not get, you know, put into the queue for a double mastectomy. Because people say, oh, you know, that doesn't happen until you're 18. You
I
can't. No, it
also
does.
am
And parents
shocked
are so
that
afraid
my
that they just
parents
go
were
with
like
it. And
so
then you see these stories
progressive
where
and that
in
I
less than
didn't
5
end up going
years,
through anything.
She realized, oh my God, no, this is not me actually being true to myself. She came to all of these realizations in less than 5 years. Imagine what would have happened if she had done irreversible damage to her body. So then think about all of these young people who've gone down this path. They feel the same shame and the emotions that she felt as she was detransitioning, having to announce it to the public, losing all of her friends, and now you have also done things to your body that you cannot change anymore. It's heartbreaking. And it's, yeah. Voices like hers are just so important.
if I had not had to wait so long on the NHS, I would have regretted it so much. I mean, in the past couple of years, my femininity has brought me so much, and I never would have been able to experience that had I not detransitioned and taken the time to really consider my own identity. And I know I'm not alone, because I personally have at least like 5 to 10 friends that have all done this to some greater or lesser extent. And I think the statistics mirror this too. It's something like a majority of people who transition are equally as depressed as they were before than they are after. And I think the percentage of suicide goes up very, very highly 5 years and after medical transition for a large percentage of people. It was always posited as a life-saving surgery to have sort of top or bottom surgery, and I think it's such a huge decision to make without having been told the other side of it. Things like testosterone, they tell you that it's not permanent, but it is. If you take a look at some of the public sort of detransitioners who have been on testosterone, who have become infertile because of it, because that is an inevitable side effect of testosterone, who experience joint pains their whole life, chronic pain, fevers, anything like that. It's something that I wouldn't wish on anyone, to look back and realize that they made a mistake. It's such a huge and irreversible mistake to make. Before they make any permanent decisions, take a long look inwards. Heal your mental health, first of all. That is the biggest thing, I think. Heal your mental health, and then consider if you still feel uncomfortable within your own sexuality or gender. After I healed my mental health, I feel almost no inclination towards like masculinity or androgyny. And I think that's the case for a lot of people who sort of experience depression in their earlier years, but then 100%. Change as they get older. It's a terrible mistake to make, and one I hope that is made a lot less often. Obviously, it's not a mistake for everyone. I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about the select few who are socially pushed.
Again, I'll be much more brazen than she is. I don't think it's a select few. I think it's a lot of people.
If I had had the choice when I was 12 or 13, I fully would have believed, yes, I want to be infertile my whole life just for this. And now having children is like my number one goal in life. It's my biggest goal. It's my dream now to have children, and it breaks my heart that that could have been taken away from me if I had been encouraged just a little bit more by my parents or by, you know, the system or the NHS or anything like that. Again, I only send love and hope and peace out to all of you, and I hope that you find peace within yourself if you're watching this video, and yeah, love you.
I mean, like, that was one of the, if not the best, like, testimony I've ever seen, because she hit so many important points of the situation, whether it be like mental health being a real driving factor, talking about young women specifically, talking about the peer pressure. She truly hits everything. And my goal in reacting to this, obviously not trying to debate any of it or do anything like that, but I just think these stories, like she said, they get suppressed. And people who choose to detransition, they face so much social pressure after the fact. They lose so many people, they deserve to be heard. And so I just wanted to amplify this and be able to add to it in my more aggressive way, because I already have solidified myself in these opinions. And obviously, I'm going to link her video in this description. Her name is Jamie. If you want to go support her, she has been posting some other videos. I think this is by far her most popular, but she has also talked about sobriety and drug addiction. If you're interested in that sort of thing, go support people like her. It really, really is important. So anyway, thank you guys for sticking around, obviously, and watching another one of these reaction videos. I'll see you next time. Before you go, make sure that you like this video if you have not already, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a single comment section or off the clock episode. We are putting out new content every day, sometimes twice a day, and even on weekends now, and I don't want you to miss a thing.
I'm looking for here in the castle. When I'm not putting it from
well,
but enough about me.
It is sad that a lot more stories like that are coming forward.
Yes, it is.
I
It's
think
very sad.
I think people should just, like, if they think that they're trans, that's fine, but like, let's just wait to transition until our medical technology is there.
Yeah.
And there aren't so many cases of like people having life-threatening complications from them.
Agreed.
I'm here to defeat Godric.
Here to challenge Godric and lay your hands upon a great ruler.
Okay, well, I have to go do dumb construction work tomorrow. JK, it's actually not that bad.
Well, enjoy it while you can.
And I gotta take my sleepy pills, because if not, then I'll stay up all night.
I've seen neither high
Which I would much rather do.
for the longest time. Still,
No.
I'm talking to Roderick. I don't remember what his name is.
I'm privy to a few magical battle
The guy that the dude that you can summon in the very beginning of Elden Ring.
I'd love to help you out.
Cool.
The wizard guy.
Cool.
Rogier, not Roderick. Learn skills. He can teach me magic.
That's awesome.
I know, right? And if you
You
talk
are-
to him before you beat Godric, then he will go to that one place and he will give you his rapier, which is already enchanted, and it's a boss. It's a boss ass rapier, and I want it. I go beat Godric now. Hey guys, have you seen Roderick? You know who I'm talking about? Are you even awake? Oh, he's awake now. Okay. Well, bye. Oh god, there's a knight. I'm gonna take care of this guy first. Oh no, he's ignoring me. Oh no, he went around? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. He was trying to get the jump on me. I'm just gonna run past these guys. I'm gonna sneak up to him. Sneak, 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 sneak. Sneak, 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 sneak. And butt stab. Bro, your dude's dead. How'd that happen? I don't know. I was just kinda chilling. He ended up dead. Okay, you're gonna fight me. Ooh, nope, you're not. Oh, I'm sorry. Haha, I got past you. That's all I care about. Give me the golden runes. I can still hear him chasing me. He's breaking boxes because he's angry. Oh shit, he's right there. I think I'm in the... I don't know exactly where I am. Okay. Oh, there's another one. Oops. Oh, this is where the Mimic Veil is. Give it to me. Give it to me now. Give it to me. Yes.
You need to hurry up.
I got that.
That's awesome.
I know. Right? Ooh, shit. Oh, no. Ah! Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Just run. Just run, boy. Run, boy, run. You can't get through there, can you? You cannot. Hammer jinx. Ah, nope, you can't get here. Oh shit, oh shit, oops. Okay, wait, hold up. Off to the left. Ah! Wow, that was really easy. No, stop. Ah! Ah! Dog, no. Dog, 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 dog. Dog, no. Ah! Ha 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 ha. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Let me sit down. Ha ha. He's hitting his own dog. Wait, let me... Can I do this real quick? Nope. Aha! Ooh. Yes, I can. Ah, it's
Hurry
a...
up so you can look at my...
He's an omen. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Ha! I played this too much. Where is it? I can hear it. No! Get back here. No, get back here. No, get back here. I got Stormcaller. There's a bunch of little jars. I'm coming. I just gotta get to the Grace really quick. And it's right up here. Ooh, doggy. Got here quick. That's how we do it. We get here quick. The game is easy if you run past everything. Y'all, you just gotta time those dodge rolls, I swear to God. Okay, I'm done, I guess. I'm sad, I don't want to stop. But I'm hungry. And I have responsibilities. Okay, bye internet, I guess.